Starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton McKee. At the beginning of hour 2 is when Al gives us our drinking word for the night. Grab a beverage and drink along with the cast as they get rolling. You found Q Talk America. Tonight's live broadcast will start at the top of the hour. We would tell you that this ain't your mom's radio station, but Clayton's mom listens every week. You found Q Talk America, home of The Show with Clayton McKee, Marnie Ryer, Kat Carlson, and Al Perkins. We will be starting tonight's broadcast at the top of the hour. By the way, we're a 3-hour show, so grab a beverage and get comfortable. If you have a topic you'd like us to talk about or a question for the cast, please post it in the chat room or on our Facebook page. Simply look for The Show with Clayton McKee on Facebook. We'll be starting the show in just a few minutes. We're just getting prepared, mixing cocktails and settling in for 3 hours of chat and some non-PC fun. From wherever you're listening or watching our show, let us know where in the world you are by posting in the chat room or hit us up on Facebook. Just look up The Show with Clayton.
Wherever you go. Listen to the news. You can sleep with the blues on this wonderful, wonderful station. Just take a lively companion wherever you go. Take a portable radio. Take a portable radio.
Now, here comes the music.
Ladies, gentlemen, and all of the ships at sea, we have managed to all get ourselves into Studio C on a Tuesday night. Some of us are awake, well, mostly awake. I think better than we were last week, potentially. Here we are. Hi, everybody. Jenny's in the chat room. Who else? There is the YouTube chat room.
We have Greg Smith. We have Tomo from New Zealand.
My God, Tomo.
Nance is joining us there.
Look at all the peoples out there.
I know. I remembered to check it right away. And
I checked it earlier. I said hello. But I didn't see Tomo.
Tomo just,
I'm going to make myself.
About 4 minutes
I've been saying it forever. I'm going to write this on my list. YouTube chat room screen. Because I want to put a screen like on the wall so we can just look over and glance and enjoy those people.
I am flipping through pages here like I know something about computers.
We got lots of stuff to do.
Very busy.
But it's fun.
Welcome one and all to the show. It is a Tuesday night in Phoenix, Arizona. This is a record-breaking temperature day for us here. Apparently, earlier this afternoon, we blasted away a 1986, I believe, was the year.
Oh, good, I lived here.
1986 was the year of the record, and we beat it by, I believe, 1 degree. So it's just hot as balls in Phoenix, Arizona right now.
So give us a number so it goes along with my. They have it in mind for my story.
I wonder. It's 113, 114, somewhere in that area.
Oh, I thought it was more than that.
No, well, just for this day.
I thought it was fucking 118.
Because we all lived here.
Cumulatively, it's 1,000,006.
Because we were all here.
The surface of the sun.
I feel like this math is all suspicious. I don't believe any of
In
these.
this era, facts don't matter.
No.
We're going to just go right along.
I just believe in different facts. Facts matter, but I just believe in
wait, are those the alternative facts I've heard about?
These are my facts, the one that I believe in.
Oh, Cat's facts.
Right.
Cat's facts, I see.
Deputy McKee.
Yep.
Oh, Annette, thank you so much.
Congratulations coming across to our newest deputy.
Thank
Deputy Dog.
Thank you very
Dog
much.
McKee.
Uh-huh.
I shot the sheriff.
Well, did not shoot the deputy.
I did not. He's right here.
You know, I
There
didn't
he
even
is.
see it. You know,
Oh, welcome.
My God.
Welcome.
my whole life I've never. What the fuck is that song about?
It's about shooting a sheriff, but not a deputy.
That's it. That's the whole message.
I think that's
okay,
it.
we're not wrapped
That's
in
all
that
I'm
metaphor.
Is it from the group Chicago or did it happen in Chicago?
Neither that I
story.
know of. I know the
None
I know
of the
the
above,
song.
I think.
The night Chicago.
I shot the sheriff.
Okay,
and
so
I
that's
did
Bob
not
Marley,
shoot
though.
the
Aren't we-
deputy.
I thought it was
are we
Eric
different?
Clapton.
I think you're right.
Maybe.
Damn
yeah.
it! I thought it was Marley.
Don't know.
Oh,
Oh, Mama
nope.
Die. Hi, Mom. She's in there.
You are.
I don't know.
You're wrong. It appears to be Bob Marley.
Thank you. Oh, thank God.
Really?
Yep.
Thank
No
you.
other versions?
Well, then there must have been a cover because I remember it differently.
no.
Clapton did
Clapton
it.
All
did it.
right,
Thank
that's,
God.
I think that's
Okay.
what
I love a world where
We're there.
That's right.
Well played.
Because I seem to,
thought,
I remember listening to it on an actual LP in the 70s. My cousin Mike had a record player. I remember the record player was blue and red, and I don't know why or where the album came from, but I remember singing along with "I Shot the Sheriff," and I was like, "Why would you shoot somebody?"
Based on a quick scan of the lyrics, it
Yes.
appears he did shoot the sheriff,
Yep.
not the deputy.
Not the deputy.
And that there was a bit of a
Scuffle.
A
Kerfuffle?
kerfuffle?
no, a bit of
I was
a,
gonna
bit
use
of a beef between
a beef.
the singer and the sheriff. The sheriff perhaps didn't like him very much.
Because he shot.
Now wait a minute.
Because he shot.
I
him.
sense
Yeah.
that this could roll right into the fancy song.
It might. Oh God!
If we could have two songs intertwined
Yeah.
here, the sheriff. You know, there's a whole lot of shooting going on.
Now wait, did Bob Marley and Eric Clapton get mad at each other?
No.
Neither one
good.
of them were
Okay.
deputized.
I don't want to start
Sheriff
a rumor.
John Brown
I just,
always hated me.
Not
for what
fancy.
I don't know.
The night
Every
the lights
time
went
that
out.
I plant a seed, he said,
wrong.
"Kill it before it grows."
You
So
know
I
what?
think
I
it's
heard
about
that
pot.
John Brown.
First of all, I think it's about weed.
I think so.
Oh.
Well, and Bob Marley.
I
Fair.
am wrong. I did not mean fancy. I meant the night the lights went out in
Right.
Georgia.
Yeah.
I knew.
Very good.
So
Or the
was
night
there an
Chicago
issue
died.
between was there an issue between Eric Clapton,
What a
Bob
great
Marley,
song.
and
I like it,
maybe
eh?
Vicki Lawrence? Because Vicki Lawrence is the one who originally did it in
what?
1973.
The night the
Lights
lights
Went Out in Georgia. Just
The
so
song-
you will know, and
did
your
not know
grandchildren
that.
will someday
You know that was
know.
Vicki Lawrence?
Marjorie.
No.
Yeah, when she was like 18 or 19 years old. Like, just as she became famous,
Yeah.
she had a ballad.
one
you
hit.
know,
Yeah.
one hit wonder.
Did you not know
I
that?
That she,
had
that
no
she then
idea.
performed on the Carol Burnett Show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that was. I didn't know. Well, this is
Was it Andy the sheriff
news.
in that one?
Breaking news.
Can't
I
remember.
feel like he had a name.
We're breaking news at 43 year
Close
old.
to 50 years
50
later.
okay,
yeah.
50 years later.
I
We're
feel
just
like that
getting
song's
to
like 70, 71.
Whatever.
I think
news.
73. I want to think. Would you look that up, Kat?
Oh
Would
my
you
God,
please?
there's so much to look up.
There's a lot of math and numbers.
I'm
Things
busy teaching Anant how to.
What?
You don't say hot
That's right.
policeman.
And then he went off to Andy's house. I'm sorry. Who am I looking up now?
I want to know
There's
who
Andy
Andy
in
is.
this song.
Night
What
the
year
Lights
was
Went Out
the
in
song?
Georgia.
Oh, when
Oh,
the
wait,
song
yeah.
was
What year was that? Was the Chicago or the sheriff killing?
okay.
The sheriff.
The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia
murder
was
of the
written by
sheriff.
Bobby Russell,
Right.
recorded in 1972,
Two.
released of November that year.
So it was
Add
a
'em
hit.
up, yeah.
So it was a hit in '73. That
And
makes
for
sense.
my birthday,
Yeah.
they released it.
Okay.
I was
Sung by
two.
Vicki Lawrence, an American pop singer, actress, author, and comedian.
Yeah.
Comedian, yes. Mm.
That's funny to me.
Yeah.
I would-
Lawrence's version from her 1973 Bell Records album of the
course.
same name
Oh, Bell
was
Records.
a number
Yes.
one hit on the Billboard Hot 100 after its release.
And moving higher all the time.
Who name a big artist from Bell Records?
Who the
The
fuck?
Partridge
Vicki
Family.
Lawrence. Vicki Lawrence.
Really?
That's the Partridge Family label.
Oh, no.
The song was again a hit in 1991 when Reba McEntire recorded it for her album
Yeah, and
For
s-
My Broken Heart.
And sold
Sure.
the
Because
fuck
she
out
was,
of it.
you know,
Fuck out
starting
of
her
that.
career in drag and needed something to,
Yeah.
you know, something to lip sync to.
Plane crash was devastating.
Start
And they were both redheads.
start with the oldies.
Still alive.
Sure. Now, and there's also, if I'm not mistaken, from either the Vicki Lawrence talk show, I believe it's where it was, because that was on in the 90s, when Reba came out with it. Reba came on her show and they sung it together
Oh,
on her
sweet
show.
Jesus.
There's a video
Oh,
of it on YouTube.
That would be something.
No, there is. If you go to YouTube and find it, there's a
Everybody
video.
has a talk show but me.
Should send that to Stacey.
You have
Well,
one.
you
It's
kinda
called
have
This
one.
Show.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on one now.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just pissed
What
he
year
doesn't
was
have his name.
I did not. I didn't
No,
shoot the
it's even better
sheriff.
that it has someone else's name on it.
Yeah,
I feel like
he's
that's going to be a
taking it over.
trifle older,
I
like
that.
69, 68. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong about lots of
It
things
was
in life.
like
What do you-
Al.
what-
A trifle,
Yeah, I shot the sheriff.
It's like Al. It's a trifle older.
What year?
Bob Marley, 1973.
Oh, okay. So right in the same year. All right.
They co-wrote it.
My God.
Oh, I
I
don't know.
mean,
I'm joking. I have
So I was
shot
teaching a
the
Nan that it's
sheriff.
not hot policeman, it's hot cop. hot cop that he's looking
hot
for.
cop.
He starts looking for a hot policeman. Who knows what will happen?
There's
Hot
a-
cop's gonna get you laid.
And it's also different if a cop's coming in hot, because that's very different analogy
Different.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, get the condom.
Okay, I'm talking about
Seconds to spare. It's coming in hot.
slide in home.
Wow.
Maybe consider lube.
Yeah. Before you start singing Ring of Fire.
Burning. Ring of Fire.
Burning,
That's right, yeah.
Ring of
I
Fire.
went down, down, down. The fire kept a burning.
I always call that the Jesus we should have tried lubricant song.
Wow.
And Mama Di said it was a beautiful day by the pool, which of course it would be with such
Nice.
dry,
Sure.
Sure was.
red
I
hot
can believe
fucking
it.
skies.
Well, Mom is in preparation. The lodge that she runs up there, she's in preparation because her younger sister Susie is coming in on the 3rd of September. To spend a
nice.
week, and Mama's got to get everything, cleaned up and ready because Susie's a
be
Yelper,
nice.
and she's gonna rate her,
Fair,
So we
fair.
already changed out the TV in the guest bedroom
That's
from
nice.
it was an 18-year-old, the old style TV,
Of course.
which is actually sitting in my carport because I've got to take it to get
I
recycled.
saw that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sure.
don't forget
Yeah.
Doug's TV.
Oh, right, Doug's TV.
She got a TV to be recycled.
Yeah.
too.
So we've changed that out. Mom's gonna all the freshen up the sheets and dust everything off and get ready. But yeah, Susie is. I'm thrilled because she'll be here for my
fun.
birthday as well. I don't think that was a plan. I think it just happens.
Let's
that we're
pretend
gonna-
it was.
Sure, whatever. But
I love it.
anyway, so I'm happy for Mom. I wish Susie could stay here longer than a week, but I feel like she has a life in Oklahoma somewhere she has to do.
Maybe.
And Jenny, the way that you breathe when it's
God,
that
this
hot is
coffee's
it's not
good.
humid, so it really
Right.
isn't hard. As long as you can get
But
a
there
breeze.
have been quite a few days that have been humid, and when when we say humid, like being from the Midwest, right?
Anything above
we
10%.
Yes,
is
because
ridiculous.
in Minnesota it could be 99% humidity, like
Yeah.
you're just hitting a wall.
All numbers are possible.
But here, when it says 40% humidity,
Oh God!
That
you
sounds
can't
awful.
breathe.
I'm gonna drink walking
like today,
through
it's
water.
9% humidity.
Today is
Like, why write
Yeah.
that down?
wow.
Right.
Just I mean, it's
EVAP coolers are working fantastic today, though. I'll tell you that
Oh,
much.
I should have used one today.
The
I'm gonna say no.
what was I just gonna say?
No, just give me the AC.
Still believe.
So-
no, I do not. I do not.
A way to figure out what it's
Fuck
like
that.
to breathe here in that take a really hot shower in a closed bathroom and then immediately get out of the shower, dry off, and turn a hair dryer on and blow it right in your face for about 10 minutes and breathe. And that's
On
a very
hot.
good
On hot.
absolute on
Oh,
hot.
I didn't understand what the first part was for. That's on a muggy day. On a dry day like today, just take the blow dryer and blow it
Yeah,
right in your
that's
face.
true.
All right, but I was thinking you want to create the steam humidity effect
Yeah.
in a bathroom
Yeah.
somewhere. That's
Oh,
what
no,
I
but it's only 9%. There's no humidity there.
On other days, he's saying.
Yeah. Oh, another day. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Oh, on our muggier days. Yes. we
Yeah,
get
exactly.
Other accoutrements, showers.
Correct.
Boiling water.
just a blast furnace of love and tenderness. But somebody posted a meme. God, this coffee's good. Somebody posted a meme the other day.
Wow.
No wonder I can't follow the analogy.
They posted a meme the other day that says, "If you can't handle me at 115, you don't deserve me at 72."
Oh,
That's right.
And
Amen.
I agree.
Yep.
Amen.
Get the
I
fuck out of
agree.
town. If you can't tolerate our summers, you don't deserve
true.
to be here in January.
And Leslie Baldwin and Bridget are joining us in the
Leslie,
YouTube chat
hello.
room. The YouTube chat room's on
Les
fire.
on Fuego.
Yeah.
Leslie and I had a
Hello.
little, not, we weren't chatting necessarily online today, but I happened to see in my Twitter feed something that she posted that I'll talk about a little bit later. We might even do that in entertainment. I might actually
Oh.
interject a little something into your segment.
Stick it in wherever it feels good. honey.
Just get the lube.
Wow,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Coming in hot.
I'm just going with it here. Be afraid.
Leaving exhausted, but coming in hot. You know
Yeah.
how-
I'm gonna,
Amen.
Hey, did you get your new thermostat, by the way?
Oh,
I did.
And how are things? What?
So I know when they're coming in hot. Yeah.
woo! What's happening now?
How much coffee have you had? Today?
No,
I've been up since 8.
just going.
You've been drinking
No,
coffee since then?
actually,
Have you been mainlining
no,
it?
I made
No,
it up at
right?
5:30 and started about 6. So we're good almost 90 minutes into this.
Woo.
Yeah. I never have a second cup at home.
It's working.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I
it's
got a
alright.
thermostat
Kick it
after
in.
sitting around last week with a hoodie on because I was like, we're not touching it.
Right. You just
Whatever
gotta
temperature
run.
that landed on, we are gonna live through it for 36 hours till the repairman can be here. And it was as I long suspected.
Crappy thermostat.
Yeah, the thermostat had just done its time.
Sure.
Got dust and the elements had finally gotten
lived,
to it.
It lived a good life.
It lived a good life. It was replaced very quickly by the very charming Mario, who's now been to my home a few times. I'm like, tea, coffee, me.
I'm going to need to know more about Mario. Thank you very much.
Mario's very attractive, and I think we were girlfriends there for a while. So told me his whole fucking life.
I do love a serviceman that'll tell you his entire
Like,
life story.
wow. So yeah, simple, fast, easy. I was so glad to have that done. And
Right.
then I found out that Tim had he had done a swap out of his thermostat because he had to get a new air conditioner, and he had one saved for me. So like any cost should have been subverted because he had the extra one.
Oh, thermostat, extra
and
thermostat.
he wanted to keep his new air conditioner with his old thermostat, so it came with the new one.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
there was a
good
lack
work.
of communication.
But you know what? You've got one for later. Save that sumbitch.
Yeah. So it's nice, and it turns out the changing of the batteries idea was just stupid because it's wired in permanently. As long as the power is going to the house, those batteries are just for show.
Yeah, because it gets 24. It gets 24 volts from the terminal or from the unit on the roof.
Sure, all those
Of
numbers.
course. Duh.
What on math is happening?
I didn't know we were going to dumb it down for the people.
Hello. For real. I so
Gotta keep
knew
it real.
that.
Al.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it real.
220, 221.
Whatever
whatever
it
it
takes.
takes.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
Wasn't that a movie? Room
I see.
220,
I love-
221,
Mr. Mom. It was from
222.
Mr.
It's
Mom.
a room 222.
That is,
Yeah.
you're right. I forgot where that came from.
It's from Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom.
Because he's acting all butch because
Yeah.
the guy from work comes
That's
over to pick up
funny.
his wife who's now working, and he feels all
right.
emasculated, so he puts on all kinds of like work gear, pretends like he's working on the house, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna put a 220 in there?" He says, "Oh, 220, 221, whatever it takes."
I
But I
love
think he
that line,
spits.
but I never
That's
knew
right.
it was.
I did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I know it's going to
Such a
come as a
cute movie.
shocker to everybody, but I've not seen Mr. Mom. Only again scenes here and there
Sure.
of said
It's a cute
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
That's a cute movie.
Yeah.
I would. I believe.
Is that a Nat in the A question mark?
Yeah.
Why
Well,
the F? Why the F do you need a thermostat
So we
in that
can
heat?
cool the motherfucker
Well, because
down.
there is a time at which you want it to cut off. Otherwise, you literally will freeze to death.
No, that's not true.
Oh.
I say he's full of shit. I don't know about you.
I do not say he's full of shit because once I got it to turn on,
Wait,
it
isn't
was,
he from fucking India? You
Yeah.
know what air conditioning's like. You know
I
what
know.
heat is like.
Listen, bitch.
Why are you acting stupid?
We don't have to explain air conditioning. So last week in that 36 hours,
Get the squirrels to run faster. I
Yeah.
know what you got to do over there.
I don't know how it works over there, but over here we turn it to a certain temperature and we hope and pray that it
it
gets
gets
down there.
there.
Well, I have it at like 72, 70 right in there, and then Erin comes over and I'm like, fuck that, because she is just a heater.
Oh,
Like
really?
just a
Yeah.
radiator.
Oh.
And so then I
You
have
go
it at
up from 72.
66.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm just like.
Oh, see, I had the
fuck
opposite
that.
kind of war, and I went on a rampage, much like everyone's father has done at some point in their childhood, and said, "Is anybody going to pay for this fucking electric bill? Because if you're not, don't touch the thermostats.
Get off my
It's set
lawn.
for what it's set for. If you want to give me a fucking $100, you can change the temperature."
You know, rather
Anybody?
because no, I'm willing. I'm super willing to pay that bill
Yeah.
because just makes her happier, and you know
Sure.
that's
Yeah.
what
I
get
it's
that.
really all about.
I get that.
And then I'm happier.
But when
See
it's
where
the
I'm going?
13-year-old,
Yes. Oh,
You got
that's
$100?
Totally different.
Right.
Are we cooling the outside?
right?
Like totally.
I'm cooling the great
Yeah.
outdoors today.
Totally
Shut
become
the
my mother.
fucking
I'm okay with
door.
that.
It really has made a substantial difference to have my Nest thermostat that is it's programmed and it's on a schedule. So again, it could run by being geolocation from your phone, but I have a schedule and it
Is that like the most expensive thing though to get initially?
They're
then-
like $200, I
180,
think.
200 bucks.
Oh, it's not bad.
But
okay.
but honestly, it pays for itself.
It's
over
less
time.
than my last 3 electric bills.
Yeah,
So
mine's
well,
at like
right.
4 something.
But
Ugh.
but yeah, and mine were a couple years back. It was because
480,
I would literally in the
'Cause you need
morning
me at your house.
go to work or go do something, and I would have the thermostat set on whatever the hell it
Yeah.
was, and then I would leave and forget. I'm like, oh shit! So it just ran all day
Sure.
at freeze, and then I got home and it had to run
Well,
longer because I was home.
they say, you know, when you leave to crank it up a little bit and all this. Well, I'm just gonna call bullshit because then I come in and I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to be
because
uncomfortable.
it takes a few minutes.
Well, and with the old home that is sitting there insulated for shit,
Just
that's
cooking,
just
right.
hot brick.
Yeah, and you have
Right.
dogs and stuff that have to stay
Right,
alive.
right.
Because I turn mine up to like 78
Keep
when
them
I
alive,
leave
yes.
at night, only
Yeah.
for overnight. I won't do that in the daytime. I'll
Okay.
turn it up like 75
Yeah.
if I'm gone for the day because I don't want to come in and be like, "Why is the house on fire?"
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
But last week, because when
Yeah.
it started working at 69 degrees, which is about 5 degrees too cold for me outside of like butt sex.
That's a special setting.
Yeah, it is. Gonna set this
I
for
feel like I should
Yeah.
do
Coming
that.
in
I
hot,
don't
coming
know.
in
I'm not
hot.
sure.
coming in hot. There's a separate temperature for that. So a friend came over last week and he's like, "Are you seriously sitting there in a sweatshirt with a blanket over?" I'm like, "The thermostat's not being fixed till tomorrow. We're not
We're
touching that
touching it."
motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Seriously.
open up the refrigerator to warm up the house."
That's fine.
Why do you have the
Don't leave it
oven
open
on?
too long. The eggs will freeze.
Yeah.
Why do you have the oven on right now? God, that's awful.
The flies are like falling over dead from the cold.
Wait a minute. So you thought we needed a thermostat just for heat. What the hell do you do for cooling?
Oh, we're gonna find out something horrible like that.
Oh, I know. I don't want to know.
No, but I mean, if you think we only need it for heat, I don't understand what do you use for cool? I'm lost.
Maybe
at some
central
point.
air is not a thing.
Maybe it's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you use evap? I would think evap coolers and would be
Yeah, and those don't really have a thermostat. It's high, low, and off.
Oh,
right.
yeah,
True.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. But oh my gosh, yeah. Well, actually,
I actually didn't have air conditioning until I was like 25. Like, had never seen it before. Because in Salt Lake, you survive on.
Clutch my
You can
pearls.
survive on swamp coolers alone. Like,
before central air,
Evaps.
before
Fuck that.
central air was a big deal. Central heat was, but central air
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I remember back. Well, that's where I learned the beauty of an attic fan, for crying out loud, because I love the entire
Oh,
whole
sure.
house evacuation. But I had one set of grandparents that had 1, 2, 3. I think there were 4 or 5 big window units back in the day when you didn't have central
Right,
air,
right.
and grandma would go around the house and she'd turn on every fucking air conditioner. But
yeah, and I think that's probably what he's got too,
Right.
is air conditioning.
maybe
in
that
every
is
room.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's it. Google.
I've lived like that too, and it's terrible.
Anan, if you can, maybe not right now, but if you were to Google evap cooler, you would understand what I'm talking about.
You know what? In fact, if you have to turn off the show to do it, go ahead and do
Yeah,
it.
because you're not going to miss anything, because
It's
we're going to keep
fine.
talking about this.
You'll be fine. And
my
then,
God,
and
that
then look
cracks
up
me up.
Central
Yeah,
Air
get a
while you're on
heater.
your HVAC field trip there. Look up Central Air, because that's what we're actually talking about.
But when my mom's parents, when Grandpa finally broke down and got, because I think the heater failed, and finally they had to get central unit, a whole new unit, and oh my gosh, Grandma was so happy, and it was fantastic because, again, the entire house had
Yeah.
heat and cool.
Oh.
It was a whole new day.
My mom found out about those, and Debbie had an allergy. We got one like later
Oh,
that
you
minute.
told me that before.
We had central air in Niagara Falls. It was not even a thing. Like
Okay.
schools
Yeah.
didn't even have it yet. But we lived, and people would just show up at our house like, "Oh,
Just because, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What is this?" And then we had
Yeah.
the gas, the big oil tank in the basement that
Right.
held the furnace.
Right.
Had to be taken out piece by piece, and we got a whole new room downstairs.
Hey, man, I ain't fancy.
Oh, it was craziness. And I
I
remember
love
like
him.
people being like, "Oh, I couldn't sleep last night. It was so much game." Like, really?
Really?
Tell me more about this.
Isn't that crazy to remember getting air conditioning?
Oh,
No, I mean, we had
That's so
wall air
weird.
conditioners, but to
Right.
take the whole house.
No,
and
I know.
Oh.
And people always like my older sister's class reunions are out here. Because there's so many people that came to Vegas and Phoenix, and people will always ask, like, what about 1977, 78 made everybody move to Phoenix? Central air was invented.
So I
So all of a sudden, a whole new group of people became
yeah.
Right,
became
it
more
was
livable.
more habitable
yeah.
here.
I certainly don't put myself in a bougie category from growing up. Like,
Oh,
I
don't
lived
think
in
any of us would.
so there was like Ivy Falls, and then right down the hill, what I called the slums of Ivy Falls is where I lived. Right, like that was, but
The ivy can't get up.
the Ivy. That's right, exactly. But we always had central. I don't remember not having central air, so I feel very bougie right now. Very
Yeah.
like,
You're very fancy, yeah. Because
I'm very fancy. Yeah.
we were just talking about when Grandma and Grandpa got air conditioning too. When I was home in July or whatever I was, and it wasn't that long ago.
okay.
It was all swamp coolers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like if you
'Cause
go
it's
to
so dry in Salt
California
Lake, like,
right
they
now,
actually work.
sure, and like that kind of like we'll go to California, and we made one mistake in going there with
Got a hotel with no AC.
Not a
got
hotel, a house.
the house
An
we
Airbnb.
rented,
AC.
and it didn't have AC. We had to go because my partner is the love of my life. We know this, but she is a fucking joy when it comes
Oh,
to.
well,
She's
you know,
probably still listening.
No, yeah, well, she was listening anymore.
we need to
It wouldn't
rewind?
matter because I'd text her right now and be like, "Hey, babe, what are you like when it's hot?" I'm a fucking joy, is what would come back. That and hungry. Oh, that's fun. But
No.
if we, honest to God, went to Walgreens and bought every fan that they had.
Every time,
It's terrifying.
every time I travel somewhere, and it's gotten less and less that it happens, and someone looks at me while I'm sweating and tells me we don't need air conditioning here, I just want to smack him across the
Right.
face. Yes, you do. Because you know what it is right now?
I'm warm.
uncomfortable.
Right.
So turn on the fucking
Therefore-
air.
And this is my trip, and I'm here.
Yes.
Right.
You can turn it on 74 and some ceiling fans, and we can all live comfortably. But I do not want to sit in your
And
house
no one's gonna get hurt.
on your fucking suede couch,
Yeah.
sweating like some kind of trapped animal because you're going to tell me you don't need air conditioning. Fuck you, San Diego.
Trapped animal.
Oh, now we're city specific.
Oh, because it's always those assholes
that's
in
funny.
San Diego that say that shit.
No, you're right.
And then the
Oh,
Santa
yeah.
Anas kick in, and I'm like, we're gonna Batman this shit, and I'm gonna put pow next to your head, kaploom.
Kapowie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was very
That
simple.
with the
so,
humidity and all of it.
so like the reunion in Pennsylvania was with my mother's side of the family, and my mother's one obsession was air conditioning. So I come about this quite naturally. Like my sister has so many fake allergies to make sure we never roll. Like there was no such thing as a car without air conditioning. My mother would not. She just like, what the fuck is that? I'll work one more shift. Put the air conditioning.
What is that, a covered wagon? What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. Isn't there a horse-drawn buggy we can ride?
Are the Amish people
Yeah.
moving in? I don't know what's going on here. I can't offend them. They don't listen. We know
So
that.
Have them start pedaling.
So it was
the
just so
water.
funny that, like, the lake house, I was like, oh my God, what if they don't have air conditioning? And then I remembered my cousins. I'm like, oh no.
We're okay.
That's their church.
Right.
All right.
Is that, HVAC or whatever those initials
That's
are.
right.
That's where they worship. That whole family needs air conditioning. So it's just funny that, oh, nothing to worry about there.
Yeah, it
That
doesn't
lake
matter.
house
We
had one
walk
thing.
into any, like, whether it's when we've rented a house, whether like going into a hotel room, I don't even know that I'm able to put the bags down before I'm going over to crank the AC.
Yeah.
Oh, I do the same thing. In any hotel I've ever been in, I just go in high, max, and I'll just leave the
Right.
room.
Yeah.
I don't care. When I come
I
back in
paid
there.
one price to stay here.
Right. I paid my
Whether I use that
$70.
or not. Yeah.
Fuck
Right.
I
yeah.
paid my money just like you people.
And you know, in Vegas, they don't give a fuck about power bills because the whole goddamn
Right.
city's lit up.
Well, and it just, I want it cold. Like I want it cold, and then I can go from there and make it what is going to be the most
I
comfortable.
can always make myf warmer.
Right. You can always put
But
a
I can't
hoodie
peel
or
off skin.
a
Yeah.
babushka. You can put that on somewhere.
Love a good babushka.
Yeah, don't you?
Yeah,
So, Kat, what'd you do this week?
fair point.
Oh, I got into a car accident in my own driveway.
Oh,
Atta girl. Are we teaching the teenager how to drive?
No,
she
it was
buried the
100%
headline. in that.
100% me.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
No.
this is the story.
What'd
Like,
you back into or run into?
Another car.
No, I know,
obviously.
Oh,
but okay, I get that, but I'm just like
Okay, picture it.
okay.
Thursday
1984.
driveway,
Sicily.
Yeah.
Driveway.
right.
2019.
So there I am. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to be productive today. I'm going to get some shit done. I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee and I'm going to go run some errands. It's like 8 o'clock in the fucking morning. We're doing this shit. So I grab my keys and I say goodbye to all the people and I say goodbye, and I go jump in my van and turn the key, crank the wheel, slam on the gas. Like, I'm going.
Oh.
Not really.
Well, his speech therapist was parked right there in my blind spot.
Oh. You mean behind you?
Oh, so not even a family
Like,
vehicle.
no,
Yeah.
like behind him beside me.
Oh.
So to get out of my driveway, I kind of crank the wheel to the right and kind of turn out, right?
Shit.
And I do it, and I have a huge driveway. My driveway is like 3 cars long and 3 cars wide.
Oh,
So ordinarily, there's a lot of
Very popular.
Yeah.
there's all
And she's coming in hot, ladies and gentlemen. That'd be a good drinking word. Is everybody drinking?
coming in hot.
coming in hot.
So ordinarily, nobody parks within a mile of me.
Sure.
So I just hit the gas and go. Like, I live on Thunderbird Road. There's nobody like playing in the street
Yeah.
near me. None of that shit is happening. So I just
Okay.
crank the wheel, turn around in my own driveway, and go. Nope, there she was.
No.
Fuck.
Seriously.
Was she
Yeah.
in the
I know.
car at the time?
She was not. No, she was in the
good.
house at the time.
Oh, good.
So I got to get out of the car, walk in the house, and go, "Hey, Jerry, just hit your car. Here's my insurance information."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Did you know that Chrysler wants $500 for a taillight? Jesus fuck.
On your vehicle.
On my because I shattered my taillight.
All right.
Obviously.
Well, where else have you looked?
Oh, I got one at AutoZone for $200, but Chrysler wanted
Oh.
$500
Oh, no, of course they do.
$100.
Sure they do.
American
That's your Lee Iacocca's dead special.
plus tax.
Right.
plus
Jesus
tax, dealer prep,
Some-
undercoating.
Assembly required.
I know. I put it in myself.
Good for you.
Did
I know.
really?
I was super butch about it.
That's good work.
Yeah, I know you're surprised.
Calm down on the super
Settle
butch
down.
about.
Settle down.
It's a taillight
In
lens.
this room, comparatively, yes.
Fair point.
So
Yeah.
Yep,
I'm the pinnacle, and then it goes
Yeah.
Right.
you, and
Oh,
then,
I
and
was-
then
I was-
you,
Oh
and then
crap!
you.
I forgot to bring you a lawnmower.
I was
too. have to
putting
do
her
that.
over.
Oh, you got a
Yeah.
lawnmower.
I have to
Yeah,
bring-
that's a gift with purchase. I mean,
Well, no, I need to bring you mine because it needs repair.
wait, is that the one I repaired before?
Yeah, yeah.
I was doing like Win Play show,
You
but
just
whatever,
don't get
whatever you think.
Just don't ask for a wheel.
I'll be first alternate butch at this table. That's
Oh,
fine.
shut up. That's a touchy
Wait,
subject.
I missed that.
I
Oh, the
can believe
wheels?
it, Yeah.
Not the wheel,
No.
not the wheel of the week.
No. I
Yeah.
Yeah,
I caught
More
up.
than
I
one
understood.
wheel?
Yeah. Apparently, there's some wheels that aren't being made or that are godly expensive. I
they're
don't
just
really know.
Craftsman,
Yeah,
Sears,
yeah.
which again they're trying to get one person to
I
pay
think
for the
they're owned by
entire
Chrysler.
bailout of
Right,
the
right.
entire
Yeah.
goddamn chain. I'm just surprised that this lawnmower, the wheels are ridiculously high priced. I'm like, why?
How
Are they
much are they?
$500?
Just curious.
They go from anywhere when you're looking online, anywhere from like 18 to 20 bucks up to like 40 bucks a fucking wheel, depending on who you're buying them through. But
Did anyone think higher than that?
Oh yeah, I was.
it's an 8-inch
No,
wheel.
I understand it. I'm not mocking you.
$20. $20 seems reasonable to me.
No,
That seems-
$20
Per
does seem
wheel?
reasonable.
Sure.
There's four. $80 for no.
But you only need the one, right?
No, I do need to replace all of them. It is an older.
So it's like an all-wheel drive.
No.
It's kind of how I feel about vacuum cleaners and lawnmowers anyway. Like, as soon as you start replacing parts, should
I'm
we just
fucking
buy a
with
new
it. Just
one?
fucking with it.
No, because the lawnmower, the lawnmower.
Oh, he's not. No.
No, the lawnmower in question is one that I found that somebody had set out for bulk
Relax.
trash pickup.
Right.
And I.
Because they
it
couldn't
should-
find a
where
wheel.
it should have stayed.
I
They couldn't
no,
find a wheel.
I
Now this is on
saved
you.
it.
It was an orphan.
I saved it. So for $13, I got a new carburetor, and it runs perfectly and it mows great. Well, the plastic
A
wheels.
wheel costs more than a carburetor?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh, now she's on board.
It's because of the tariffs. Prove me wrong.
Exactly. Show me the line.
Changed my mind.
Damnable.
Damn
Prove
it.
me wrong.
Continue on with your
Right.
lovely story. So how much
that was-
damage did you do to what's her name's car?
Yeah, I haven't found out yet. The insurance will cover it. I mean, I have good
shit.
insurance.
What was
so-
it? Was it? Was it ugly?
No, it's a nice car. It's a nice.
No.
I mean,
What's
like-
the damage? Like,
Oh,
would you like?
it was pretty good
Yeah.
dent in the
Okay.
driver's side door. I don't know. I mean,
Oh.
I was 2 feet away from her, so I couldn't
But-
have got that damn
So
much
we're not like
momentum.
a kind of thing?
It might be.
Okay.
Oh.
It might be. But it's in the door, so maybe not. I don't know.
No, all right.
I don't know.
Bitches.
My deductible's way too high, so I paid $200 for a taillight, and I said, "Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
We're done."
at least nobody was injured.
Yeah,
Lord
I felt very
knows.
much like Kathy Bates in Fried Green Tomatoes.
Right? Right?
No. Okay.
Tractor Supply
Older
has
and I have more
aftermarket
insurance.
wheels, according to Bridget. Does that
Oh.
make any sense to you?
Yes, it does. But no, Bridget, like those won't work. I've been through all these websites.
Okay.
I thought Molly had some good suggestions,
Disappointing.
quite frankly.
I don't like any of you people.
I'm just telling you.
very
I've
funny.
kept up with your stuff. No, she actually was really trying to.
There's
help them, I
actually
think.
Oh.
I don't
Jenny.
think it
There's
was-
actually 8 wheels on the bus.
Do they go round and round?
Yeah, they do.
Do you see what
There's
I
4.
mean?
There are 4 on the drive axle. There's 2 bogies and 2 steering.
So last month he got an old bus, and now he's back to picking up wild lawnmowers.
Yeah.
No, I picked up the lawnmower 6 months
Just
ago.
driving through town all on their own.
Oh,
You
now,
guys, you don't know me.
Funny.
now he's got more room to pick him up in. Like, he just
Like
filled
a-
that
right?
fucking bus
Yeah.
full of lawnmowers.
Like an
Back to that.
unmanned shuttle.
Yeah. But I forgot I was supposed to bring you my lawnmower this week for repairs.
Oh,
I'll do
that's
it next
fucking
Next week's coming in
funny.
hot. I'm just telling you.
Bring the lube.
It needs a new
So yeah, those
bowstring
blades
and
are
a-
sharp.
And the little wire with the couch
Yeah.
grabber
The
thing is
bail.
kind of binding. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's fantastic.
So I don't know if it needs replaced.
All
or
these
lubed
things
or-
can
I don't
all
know.
will be revealed in a very special episode next week.
It's gonna be very exciting. I can't believe
I feel
forgot
like I
today.
should get the when you
And
bring it to me.
I'll trade you a lawnmower wheel.
I'll see
How
your
do you say that?
lawnmower wheel.
lawnmower wheel. Are you high?
Am I
20
pronouncing-
bucks was 20 bucks.
pronouncing that right?
No.
No. Yeah, I had a one of those things,
What?
A light.
A
a
light
searchlight, like
Okay.
that blinding motherfucker, blow up on me the other night.
at your
my God.
house?
Oh.
It didn't really. It sounded like it blew up, but it was one of those things where it must have blown the filament. But it sounded like an old timey,
my filament
like
on.
flash bulb.
Oh, that's fun.
Because I drove up, the lights came on,
Did you
and then
feel
the one
really
like,
glamorous?
one went supernova and made
That's-
this loud noise. and
That's
then
funny. I thought we had put LED lights in there for you. I'll have to check that.
Yeah, it was just.
I'm gonna write that on my list.
Yeah.
Add it to your
Please
list.
do.
Al's Supernova Light Show.
The
Marnie, any mechanical adventures?
Yeah.
No.
The library's open, Marnie. Come
Mishaps,
on.
perhaps? Do you have any projects for Clayton? For
Oh,
Deputy
she,
McKee?
she does, but
I always
I
do.
don't.
I always do.
I think I'm gonna have to just stop doing projects altogether because it just doesn't work
much.
out too much.
Too much.
All right.
I mean, Al had
pay
things for
you.
me to do. He offered money as well, but during the time he was gone for the 6 months this summer he was gone,
No.
I couldn't get to any of it
It's
All
too
right.
much.
other than bringing in his mail and changing one air filter. That's all I did.
Fair enough.
You didn't know there were two.
I did. Well, I forgot. I knew that. I just forgot.
He didn't know.
So Marina, what'd you do? What you been
Tell
up
us
to?
some things.
Um,
Give us the news. What's the haps?
Annette, you're right.
Nothing.
I am a wonderful husband, but you're too fucking far away.
oh.
The bus won't drive there.
Knock, knock, knock.
And they're not going to give you a
Annette,
significant
I-
other visa anymore, so.
Right. So
Sorry about your life.
Well. fuck Trump.
yes, Chitty, deep pockets are needed.
I don't think I did anything this week. I
You
mean,
sure?
Good
I
job.
worked a lot. I saw Lion King.
Oh, wrong.
The movie?
The movie.
Okay. How was it?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The lions
enjoyed
weren't
it.
creepy. I heard they
They-
were creepy
well-
with soulless eyes.
I just had a wonderful vision.
Um,
Whenever they remake Lion King again later on the road as another live show in a theater,
No,
I
because
want
animation, live action, animation, live action. They have to animate it.
whatever. When it's a live stage show again, I want Snagglepuss to be.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
I want Snagglepuss to.
And Siegfried or Roy has to be
One
in
of
there.
the
you
two.
know
Well,
what
the
I
one
mean?
that-
Right?
How can you have
The
a
one
story
that's
about
not
a
a
lion
vegetable.
without that monumental moment?
Siegfried is actually the one who's still all here.
I absolutely loved The Lion King when it came out, and as the animated movie, and then seeing it at Gamage and whatnot, the amazing, just amazing. And I thought, I don't know about this, like going to see it, but I really thought it was done well. And fucking Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen as Pumbaa and Timon, fucking funny. Like they.
Oh, in the new version?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen
Because
it.
there were so many, I have it all memorized. What do you want me to do? Dress and dragon, do the hula? Like, I was waiting for these different lines, but they were very smart with redoing those kind of lines. So, and Aunt, did you love it? I absolutely, but like I said, Billy Eichner, some of the one-liners that they came off with were very funny.
All right.
So, anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Very good.
Yeah, cried, but then again,
It can happen to anyone.
I think it should. It was a moment. So yeah, and I hate Scar.
Who plays Scar in the new movie?
I honestly don't know. Now that you asked me that, I'm not sure.
Because wasn't Jeremy Irons the voice
He
in the
was.
animated?
He was.
Isn't it funny that I know that?
Yeah, well, there were so
Random
many
shit
voices
I know.
that I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, but that was a good voice, and like Alfre Woodard was the. You would, if you saw Alfre Woodard, you'd know who
All right.
that is. She was
Oh, she.
Simba's mom. Yeah, she was
Sarabi.
Sarabi,
All right.
and it was.
Oh, she would tell Ejiofor is Scar.
Scar.
Who?
Him.
Got it.
Say it again.
Excuse me.
She would tell Ejiofor.
I got fucking nothing.
I got no-
nothing.
no.
One of my favorite actors. He's in a lot of stuff you've seen. You just don't remember.
You know
his name.
him from 12 Years a Slave, Dirty Pretty Things, Serenity, and
Dirty Pretty Things, a
2012.
movie that I always try to get everybody to watch. One of my favorite movies of all
He
time.
has talked about that a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
but I haven't.
I haven't seen it either.
And I feel like Children of Men. Isn't he in Children of Men?
It's
No.
not on his known for standby. I don't think so.
No. Okay. But
Oh my God,
yeah,
Oh,
Dirty
I'll
Oh,
Pretty.
that's too
snacks
bad
today.
that the sound was shitty.
Oh,
Oh, he
Yeah,
was in
it
Children
was.
of Men. You're
I
right.
thought
I hadn't
so.
gone far enough back.
Yeah, Love Act.
Oh,
He's
he
in
was-
Love Actually.
Okay.
Like he's been around
Okay.
for a long time.
He was Lola in Kinky Boots.
Yeah, and he's the original
Ah.
Lola in Kinky Boots.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, you
Okay,
know who he
yeah.
is.
He was in the Canterbury Tales.
He just has
Oh,
an unpronounceable
He
name.
was Peter in Love Actually.
Okay, yeah, that.
He was in Three Blind Mice.
Yeah,
See
I know
how
you're on
they
the same
run.
page
Could
as I
he?
am.
Was he one of the mice?
He was Mark Hayward.
Oh, very nice. Is that one of the mice?
It's not in the rhyme.
I don't know.
Oh, remember? Yeah, we
But
actually
yeah,
used
it
to
was
use.
really good.
We used to use Three Blind Mice. In our Guns segment we used to do years ago.
Oh, it's like, were we
That's
on in the
right.
20s? I mean, I know you were, but
Living in the radio,
Living
not
in
on
the
radio.
radio. That's right.
Fuck you.
That's
all.
right.
living on video.
I love that you did that in Ann. I did the same thing. Aaron was like, "Can this be a sing along?" I'm like, "Absolutely."
I was so mad. I can't remember what movie I went and saw that they re-released. If it was The Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast, I'm like, why aren't these little fucker kids singing? Mm-hmm. Like, I was prepared for this to be a sing-along.
There was the cutest little kid,
And I had
next
the
to
only
us.
polite child audience in, like, modern American history.
There
so I
was,
said-
Hey, good for you.
Yeah, hey,
I
wow.
mean, don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Right.
there were like some just shitty kids that were in there, but there was the cutest one who was sitting real close to us, and so we kind of, because of him, forgave all the other children. Even though he had nothing to do with the other children.
He was the Jesus of children.
He was the Jesus of children.
The
To all
Jesus of children.
Wait,
But-
who was the Jesus of children?
The
I
little
tuned out
cutie
for a
that was
minute.
next to us.
I was
Do we have a new Messiah? God, I was gone for 10 seconds.
Well, he's coming back.
How do the Jews feel about it? Is he the real one?
They're not committed.
We're
Yeah.
not sure. We're not sure.
no, I'm still
I got distracted because apparently there's a new Rambo movie coming out, which we didn't need. So I don't know.
Tell me that.
Rambo: Last Blood, new trailer says so right
I'm
there.
just telling you that Sylvester Stallone
Is he
is
anywhere
going to
near
wring
it?
every last dollar out of that career.
Why wouldn't he?
It's called
Well-
Rambo Transfusion
No,
Time.
close. It's called Last Blood.
Last blood,
Well-
401k.
This time it's oxygen.
Yeah,
Next stop, the nursing home.
yeah, exactly. Rambo and his new hip take on the world.
Paying for my at-home aid.
Rambo Medicare.
But I gotta say, that Creed movie was fantastic. Even Creed 2, not that bad. Like, as far as,
High
like,
praise.
But
Rocky
that
8.
Michael Jordan is just gorgeous.
Yeah,
He's
Michael
just
B.
adorable.
Jordan. Oh, yeah. Wear two
Yeah,
pairs of
yeah,
underwear because you're going to lose the first one.
Well,
Throw it at the screen, wet through it. I don't care what you do with
Well,
it.
coming in hot.
It's going to happen.
Lord of
And
mercy.
I saw a couple of years after it came out, a friend of mine had said, like, oh, I've never seen that movie and I'm curious. And I was like, it's very good. I'm like, I'll happily rent that. Like, it was like last summer, I think. I'm like, I'll pay the $3.99, rent that. We can watch that on Amazon. And we watched it, and he was so funny, very
Creed?
fit. Yeah, Creed. Very, very fit guy. And he just kept looking at me, like looking at Michael B. Jordan, and he goes, okay, when the sequel comes out, I'm going to go to the gym like twice that day because I'm very self-conscious about myself watching this man without
sure.
his shirt on.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm like, I guess that's how a straight guy would react to it. A gay man's
Interesting.
got like, hand lotion and a little towel.
Like you do.
And you liked Parenthood, right? Who else liked Parenthood?
The
Did
TV
you
show
guys-
or the movie?
TV show.
That's all right.
Parenthood.
Diane.
Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
Lauren Graham's in it, so obviously.
Right,
Wow.
There you go.
Duh.
And
Obvi.
so was Michael B. Jordan. He was the boyfriend to Hannah or Haley or whatever, one of the daughters.
To May, what's her name?
Nope.
May Whitman.
The one who had the brother
Slim
with
Whitman?
autism.
Nobody got that.
Haley, the little.
Isn't Haley on Modern Family? Wait.
No, I can't think of her name, but it's something like that.
So
Hannah.
Michael B. Jordan's on there.
He was.
You're not gonna
and
not.
he was the boyfriend.
You're not gonna not notice him.
Yeah.
He's cute.
Stand by.
So cute. That's
He's
what
the
I
super
first
hot guy
noticed
that
him,
just walked in
yeah.
the house. Yeah, that's like, oh,
Yeah.
him, that guy.
So anyway, yeah, that was
Him and
No,
Milan.
you're mixing your metaphors. Haley's on Modern Family.
yeah, but I can't think of what her name is.
I
Anyway,
got nothing.
Move on.
I'm
So-
gonna look because I'll find it.
I've just been kind of sitting around because I had a week off. I worked all those shifts in a row, and now I work a whole bunch of shifts in a row, so you get a little time in the middle off. So, but then today, I decided to get caught up on a TV show and drink some miraculous coffee, and then I was like, oh, before I go to the show, I'll just ride my bike and buy some wine and stop into AJ's to make it
the
an
hottest
airy
time
done.
of the goddamn the day.
Honest to God, did not factor in how goddamn hot it was. And the fact that I hadn't had a sip of water,
Oh,
I was just drinking coffee
It was warm
at home.
today. Yeah, I feel like we
Oh.
could covered that.
Are you earlier in the show?
I think we
But
talked about
I
it
just
even.
wanted to, about the bad
What was
idea
the
bear that was
temperature?
going on.
Should we just
No, but it was stupid to be on my bike. And by the time I got to Total Wine and bought my bottle of wine and had it in the
Oh, that's
cooler,
far
I had
away.
to like go
You
to
went all the way to Total Wine?
yeah, because I was like, I'm caffeined up and it looks lovely outside. It wasn't. No, those are all lies.
My gosh.
The voiceover says
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
not
From
a lovely
15th
day.
It was
Avenue.
not a lovely day. So I had to go to the cooler and buy a bottle of water and like then stick my hand in the ice bath you put the wine in and like dab it on myself.
That's
But
terrible.
then I
I
had
bet
to,
they
then
like that.
I didn't think it through as far as
No
like, okay,
kidding.
now you've got to Total Wine. Now you have to come back.
Oh.
It's a round trip journey. So
Order
I was
yourself a Lyft XL and put that bike in the back of that fucking
Yeah.
minivan. And
Well,
go the
you
fuck-
can
I
also-
was seriously like shaking from the dehydration. That's why when I got here, I had that sip of water and I'm like, I might throw this up. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna stay down.
I'm not encouraging you to make bad decisions, but you could also have called me. I would have brought my truck and brought you back.
I'm at 16th Street. I mean, it's
But
not
still,
that far. Yeah,
Yeah,
it-
but-
I don't need you,
No.
having a seizure on a sidewalk somewhere because you're over.
but now I can
Done.
say, hey, record-setting heat. This asshole was on his bike and rode.
He was actually coming in hot.
No. Literally. No.
But
not
at
in the
least,
fun way.
at least I had the good sense to bring a change of shirt.
You did. Look at that beautiful blouse you have on now.
Yeah. So I mean, according to this, it says 2 miles, but I don't believe that. I think it was further. I think that's further from my house to Total Wine to back here. It's got to be more than 2 miles.
No. No,
Probably
because
not.
you'd be a mile. It'd be about a mile and a half between the two. No.
But 7th Street to 7th Avenue is 1 mile all on its own.
No, so it'd be about 2 miles because you're only going to 16th.
Okay. But that should be a mile. Anyways, felt like a mile.
Oh, good lord.
Felt like it should have been 3 miles, but who knows how this thing calculates
It
my
felt like
I've
distance.
seen you
forever.
measure distance.
Yeah, exactly. So I think things are much shorter, which usually I go the other way.
Yeah, you're the one. Oh, it's just around the corner.
Yeah, it's just
4
yeah.
days later, we're still walking
Yeah,
in the
still
desert on a horse
walking.
with no name.
So that was it. That was the highlight of the week, except for the things that'll come up in entertainment. Was
Oh my
me
god.
having a really stupid idea today. But the rosé was still kind of cold, and I did drop off the gummy bears, the lifetime supply of Gummy Baron.
I
Yeah,
don't like
Every
that.
bear in the
Uh-huh.
village is in that one.
That's
the cult, the
exciting.
cult of gummies.
Google says it's 3.3 miles from your house to Total Wine.
Yeah, so it's got to be like 5 to get back here, or no, probably 1 more mile.
At a stop.
What? Why would it be? Why would it be longer to get here?
No, I said 1
Because
more.
if he went from Total Wine to his house and then to here, it's 4.4 miles.
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
Because he went there, stopped here, then went home, then came back.
No, I didn't go home. I went there, here, Total Wine, back here. But if it's like I said,
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought when you came in the first time, you had already been.
no.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
We should have just jumped in the Explorer and driven there.
Oh, I have a car.
True, but
It's
you,
not for
All right, when you rearrange, it's 4.5 miles.
Okay, I like your
Lord
answer.
have mercy.
still, that's a little
lot.
lucrative.
That's a
Very
lot.
skilled
dude.
at the maps.
Thank you. So I feel very accomplished that at 113
She's,
degrees,
she's our present.
I rode my
meow
bike
pal.
4.5 miles
No.
with slight stops for air conditioning and water
In-house cartography.
in the
That's-
large, the
right.
absolute
She's our
largest
in-house
chicken
meow.
salad wrap
And
ever
her name is
assembled.
Kat. Look at
And
that.
it took,
all
what,
works
45
out
minutes for her to put that together?
Yeah, that was the
Boom.
longest part of the journey. Was that girl who clearly had some motor skills problems. Based on how long it took her to
Wow.
spread chicken salad across the spinach. And then I was like, I was looking at a distance and I'm like, okay, it's a wrap. You can't wrap that anymore.
It's too big.
It's too big. You're making a sushi roll now, bitch. Like, you gotta just roll that in there. That's a good idea. I should have done that. So what'd you do this week?
Not a hell of a lot of exciting things, just, working around the bar. Oh no, I take that back. One of the dumbest things that we did this past week, similar to what you almost
I
you
like
chose
that
to
we're
do.
all stupid.
So at the bar that I work at, Stacy decided to buy. Stacy decided to buy. We needed outdoor storage, is what he dry storage is what he's calling it. Outdoor storage, right?
Dry storage, yep.
So he's
He
calling
needs
it.
more storage?
So what do you want? Oh my God! Let me tell you.
No, thank you.
So
I've been in the shed.
he got. Oh no!
Oh,
No!
dear.
We're expanding
Do you want to show us on the doll what
Why
happened
do
to
we
you in
need
the shed?
because he got that fucking food truck.
For fuck's sake.
The food truck's been there.
He knows you could go to the store every week, right?
No. Can I tell my story?
Yep.
All right.
No.
So
Maybe not.
So he decides, and we're trying to convince him, like, if you're going to buy something, go big or go home. Buy a goddamn solid steel storage container. Like, let's get something and just we'll do it all. We'll do it live.
Yeah.
No,
like
Get refrigeration going on that bus, and I think you
he-
get yourself a
no,
deal.
I'm not. No, nobody can have that. So he finds on whatever app he's on, some woman in the West Valley, literally Litchfield Park, has got some shed for sale that she bought and she can't use. So
Her
it's
she shed?
Her she shed, still in the box. She couldn't use it. Whatever reason, she was
Still
selling
in the
it
box. Why is your shed in a box?
because it's some assembly is required. So
That become your job?
he decides he can't wait.
Shed in a box.
He decides to drive out there in his SUV,
Oh yeah.
knowing full goddamn good and well, because we had a conversation the day before, I have a truck. So he decides to go out there, measures it, figures out I can't get it in his truck, or his SUV too small. So I get recruited to drive out there, which is fine. That's fine. Billable hours, don't care. I get all the way out there. That's where Ron Rogers snapped the picture of me driving my truck on the I-10.
Oh, very nice.
with
Because
the
he was
two
on his way
boxes
to
of-
work and you were on your way
Right.
back. Avondale,
Right.
that
Fucking
makes a lot of
paparazzi.
sense.
All that. Eric followed me
I know
everywhere.
it.
And I liked the Barbara Seville saw the boxes and thought it was Pussy LaHoots eyelashes had come in.
That was very funny.
So we get this thing. So
Good a
la-
guess as any.
So
Skirts,
last
maybe.
Fair.
So then last was it Thursday? I think it was Thursday. Was it Friday?
Sure.
Thursday.
Let's go with this.
Yeah,
story.
because it was Wednesday. I went to get it Thursday. So he decides we're going to assemble this thing Thursday, 10 a.m. Fucking hot.
yeah.
We spent 6 solid hours in the parking lot of that goddamn bar putting together this plastic shit. You know what? You know what's really nice and great to hold on to in the sun?
Metal.
Plastic,
Plastic,
and metal.
Yeah.
Oh, why not a
bet that's
suede
a lot of
couch?
fun.
Just hug that. Real tight.
So it's all built. Now, the funny thing to me is, what doesn't last well in Arizona sun and heat?
Clayton.
Plastic.
Plastic.
Both answers are correct. Both answers
Both
are correct.
answers are correct. Yeah.
Judges will take on that, huh? Judges rule.
Parenthetically, Clayton.
Yeah.
So we got that son of a bitch put together. That was Thursday, and I'm just looking at it thinking, it doesn't matter what lock you put on
Did
this
it
thing.
melt by today?
No, it's still upright.
It's kind of drooping a little
Yeah.
to the side today.
Like it had a stroke, like that. No, but the but because it's it is a plastic, and when I say plastic, for people listening, you remember how when you were younger and you had a big wheel and it was like that formed plastic.
Yeah.
That's what it's made out of. It's plastic like that.
It's a Rubbermaid brand, I bet.
No, it's not the brand, but similar. I know, but yeah, you're getting there. But the
You're so on track. I mean, you're wrong, but you're so close.
But you're right there. Right
But I'm
there.
looking at this shed
a
and I'm
contrary.
thinking to myself, it's plastic. You could take a good knife and just jab the side and cut a hole in it. So locking it is really pointless.
But think of how much fun you'll have doing that. You'd be like,
Why, I'm not going to do that.
But you could. You don't know. He might ask you to.
Now the other funny thing is, and I don't know why, it came up in my feed on Facebook. You know how they have all these ads for things. He spent on that shed. He spent $700 on this shed.
you can get a bus,
Pl-
10 wheels.
They go right around.
I mean, check my math.
So, yeah, I could have. But I get an ad.
The wheels are not for the bus,
a,
though.
an ad pops up on
Ask
my
her.
Facebook feed
They go round
for
and
a
round.
larger shed than he bought for $180 on sale. And I
Oh,
almost,
see.
you almost just want to buy it just to be
Yeah.
like, look what I did.
Yeah.
I'm a bitch trying to send it to him.
Right, here's the ad.
Yeah.
Size, queen.
Here's for your second one, because he's already talking about getting a second one.
Why didn't you just buy a big enough one the first
That
time?
was what I said. Why don't you just go big or go home? Like,
Yeah.
let's
Do it right
just
the
do it
first
all. We'll do it live,
Sounds
right
Son
here.
of a bitch.
Well, too late. Too fucking late.
Good Lord.
I need a she shed, but I need one much bigger than that.
I need a really big she shed. Big
Unbelievable.
she shed, because in
Like
that
a
she
two-car
shed,
garage
I've
size
got
she shed.
I got a truck to take out of his garage. I got a truck across the street, an Explorer, and I got a bus to put in it. Hey, let's go in together.
I was just thinking that.
We'll
I
put
think
the
we need a
Empire
hanger.
We
I
could
think
put
the
the
word you're
Empire-
looking for is hanger.
hanger. We're gonna put the Empire in with the
In the
bus.
she shed with the bus
she
and the
shed.
thing. Yes.
That's a lovely
I'm kind of
idea.
not kidding. So
Yeah, something
we'll look
measured
at
by
some spaces.
volume.
Yeah, I'm gonna need. It's got to be really tall
it's all right.
because the
Yeah,
bus
the-
is tall.
I don't mind tall.
The Boeing office building, my friend Shane is always like, it's the largest office building by volume. I'm like, what do you do? Fill it with fucking water? Why would you measure something by volume and not like square feet?
Square
'Cause
footage.
Because let me tell you, you got to have something to brag about. You got to figure out that one thing.
Well,
Make it
Shane's
bigger
a
than the
size
Pentagon.
queen, right? So
No, it's just so funny. And then I looked it up, and it was like, but it is by It's not the largest office building. That's still the Pentagon. It's by volume. In case you want to fill it with Kool-Aid one day.
Hey, you guys!
You never know. As long as it's red flavor, that's all
As
we
long as
care
it's
about.
red, yeah.
Red flavor is the best
Give it
kind.
to the children first.
I do have to add one thing.
What?
Yes.
Please do.
Well, first off, in the hot summer, if you're a little chubby, do not sit on a plastic chair because that fucker's going down in the heat.
I have a
Amen,
question for
sister.
who's a little chubby?
When I heard plastic, all I think is
Theoretically.
theoretically.
Oh, I'm
Not
sorry.
pointing
any
Nobody's
fingers.
specific. All
What
right.
Not
you don't want to be
naming
doing is sitting
names.
outside in a
Got it.
plastic chair because at
Fair.
115, that thing is going
I
down
only
to the
fell
ground.
the one time.
Yeah.
I see.
And it's not really a fall, it's
No.
more of a dissolve into the ground.
It's a sad
Because it is
little
kind of a
boo.
slow. The legs just give out.
Yeah.
So then the other thing my friend Cliff used to say is when you're fat, you can't walk down the street eating an ice cream cone because then it's your open season. Just pick on them. When you see a fat girl walking down the street with an ice cream cone, you've just opened the door.
Oh.
So I
fair.
did this
So
recently.
You
because of
you did have a popsicle.
Arizona AZ Pops.
Wait, there's a
absolutely
place to
delightful.
buy
Sounds like a
popsicles
dating site, really.
It does. I remember my first pop. It was delightful.
Coming in
Coming in
hot?
hot, yeah.
Hot cup, hot cup.
Hot cup, hot cup.
Oh, boy.
I wish the first time was with a hot cup.
Well,
Oh,
Whole different story, different
different,
napkin.
different.
So
Very different.
AZ
I'm
Pops
uncomfortable. I'm
on
gonna
7th
text.
Street, where the Hulu's is.
Oh, that's what it is.
There is a charming little local business. They are in the back, making all with fresh fruits and no unnatural ingredients. Right? They're stripping down gays and just bringing them through there.
Fresh fruits.
Fresh fruits. They get them like 19 to 21. Just
Ooh.
not Catholic.
Oh,
Well, they are across from
That's a
Brophy.
little ripe for a Catholic, yeah.
A little ripe.
That's one soft avocado in the Catholic church.
Central High School is just down a little block.
Yeah,
oh, different.
you got to ship them up.
Brophy is right across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just delightful. The flavors, and then they have a couple with CBD in them, and oh my god, they are delightful. I had a banana lemon one. No, was it banana lemon? It was some flavor. Strawberry lemon.
Yeah, because yours was red.
Delicious and like filled
post-
with strawberry seeds. It was gorgeous and the perfect thing for like a 107-degree
No,
day was
God,
just
that
to
sounds
have
good.
like
I didn't know.
there, it's a little bit of money, but
So-
it's fruit.
So
There's no
twirl,
sugar.
twirl
Oh,
is still
that's nice.
there, right?
Twirl is gone.
Oh, twirl is gone.
But now there's like Scoopalicious in that same plaza.
Did not know.
There's a little ice cream place with homemade ice cream that looks really wonderful.
All right.
Okay.
And then up on 7th Street is this AZ Pop. So what they do is, and they'll take, they take their little popsicle stand, like, the guy that's in the park.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take that to businesses and like do like a little food truck stuff and just ring their bell and let them know like, hey, we've got popsicles out here when it's lunchtime. They'll go around at lunchtime with their, and stand there and sell these. And they're delicious.
Oh, that's cool. I had no idea.
I don't know. I've been trying to figure out what the hell the CBD is and everything, and I'm not 100% sure. It's supposed to just be like soothing. I don't know. I was sleepy, but I wasn't from that. I was just tired, and it was 105. But now Boycott. Aren't those delicious?
I'm just.
Yeah, I saw the sign on the way here.
Yeah. So now, because I rode my bike the other night.
Boycott.
At like 12:30 at night,
Yeah.
instead of going on a bike ride and check out all the gay bars on a Friday night, instead of going in.
Yeah.
And I noticed
good.
Boycott was
Lurking. They
busy
call that
as fuck.
lurking.
Don't know why.
I don't know why either, but
At
now
all.
it says their cocktails. They have CBD cocktails in there.
Maybe that's why.
I don't know. But the busiest bar Friday night I went all 7 gay bars in the neighborhood. Boycott, like coming out the doors, busy.
Interesting.
It was like good for them.
Wow.
Well, that's their country night now too. So
Oh, there you go. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever the
Yeah.
lure was, it
Yeah.
was working. Like they were jumping.
yeah, and I've heard good things since they've started doing that, and I'm glad.
Yeah, good for
That
them.
place is still the size of a thumb, though.
Right.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it
it's
is.
so
Right.
little.
It's always been that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, I have like large opinions about what needs to be done with that space. Like it
Yes.
doesn't have to be
Fire?
huge.
Yeah.
No,
No,
No.
but I agree. There's
bleach would help.
Bleach. Oh gosh, yeah.
Ooh, Bridget is bragging about
Oh.
a 10 by 20 foot 2-story she shed
Where is that?
on the YouTube
Is it
chat
for
room.
rent?
Is yeah.
good morning, Nero.
Are you
Hey,
accepting
Nero.
tenants?
Yeah.
Gotta have a couple big doors on it. Or
Yeah,
at least
in New
one
York,
big.
that's a 2-bedroom apartment.
No shit.
That's fair.
Actually, I think this room is a 2-bedroom apartment in New York.
This is actually too big.
The closet. That,
Yeah,
that would
yeah,
be it.
Yeah. Now you're pushing it.
So I've seen the CBD cocktail things. I've read a couple articles about it, so I'm interested
And they're all getting
in
around it
what
because
they're
they
doing.
legalized hemp,
Right.
which we'll talk about in headlines.
And you can buy all the CBD oil that you want apparently. And
Yeah.
I've looked at it in cocktails and haven't like made the leap to go investigate it and find out
It's not
what
like your
it is.
melatonin, is it? Is it along the same lines as that or no?
No.
So
not
CBD stands for cannabidiol. It's the second most prevalent of the active ingredients of cannabis, parenthetically
that.
marijuana.
Marijuana. Mary Jane.
While CBD is an essential component of medical marijuana, it is derived directly from the hemp plant, which is a cousin of the marijuana plant, which is how you get around it and how every other corner
Right.
And why?
has a
'Cause-
CBD oil
Because hemp
stand.
was illegal until last year, and then they passed the Farm Bill, and in it was legalization of hemp.
Right.
Because rotating out your crops
Right.
with hemp for 1 year makes it much more sustainable.
beneficial to the soil and
Better for
right.
the soil, and you can
Wow.
replace plastic products. There's a lot of like things that can be
You
made.
can do a lot of shit with hemp. Like
Yeah.
those hippies have been onto something for a long
and it
fucking
turns
time.
out that the 100 years that we banned hemp, we could have like avoided plastic completely.
Oh.
Right.
So there's the benefits of
Right.
that, but you don't have CBD does not have a hallucinogenic
Right.
effect.
Well,
So you
and the
don't
thing
feel
is that
high.
you have to
You don't get high.
you have to pay attention though, because I went and got some just to see if it was like would be helpful for sleep, for whatever. And what I realized when I went, because I was reading the entire list of stuff that was in it, and I looked at it, I'm like, why the fuck don't I just stick with my melatonin gummies? Because it had melatonin in it.
Oh,
and I
sure.
thought, I'm going to call bullshit right now. That you're
But that's
gonna
a nice
charge,
combo.
No, but you're going to charge that much for... I didn't buy it. I just looked at it like it was just like a melatonin kind of thing. But the place that I've gone, they have lollipops. I have a couple of lollipops at home. And
My
different
girl
things,
lollipop.
and they're-
So-
but it just all it does, and the tincture,
Yeah.
the drops that I have, those like kind of knock me out a little bit,
Because
but doesn't make you feel goofy at all.
CBD
Right.
counteracts the hallucinogen effect. So if you're too high
Right.
or you're tripping balls, a little CBD allegedly, I don't know if this is true, cuts the hallucinogenic effect.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that because the CBD oils are only legal because of their minimal concentration of
Right.
THC, which is the thing that
That's
makes
what
it
I'm
If
saying.
it, and if
So
at
let's
all.
say you're
Right.
smoking a bowl
right.
and you're
Oh.
too high from that, you take a little CBD oil and it counteracts it somehow.
I feel like water would do the same thing for you.
Sure.
I don't
You know,
understand
you know what I
it.
mean? Like
yeah.
I'm pretty sure,
So the higher the CBD
based on
quantity in
my
something-
grasp of science, which is only so much, I would have to guess that probably water would do the same thing for you. Like
there's something calming in it that
Yeah.
it calms down the hallucinogenic
that's cool.
effect. So
Yeah,
I would
don't
wonder
again. I don't know a ton about it.
if the CBD would get rid of the nightmare effects of the melatonin.
Oh, maybe.
You know, those
Right,
the
right,
melatonin
right. I can
nightmares
see that, yeah.
may be made a little bit more palatable by
Sure,
adding
sure.
some CBD. Who knows?
Well, and the only reason that I was curious, not only reason, one of the reasons that I was curious with the CBD oil is because that is something that is supposed to be very, very helpful with like seizures and in kiddos and that kind
CBD
of thing.
specifically is the part of
Right.
marijuana that's for. That's why
Right.
people are like, "Oh my God, you're getting that little kid high." No,
Yes,
we're giving them
no,
CBD.
we're not.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So I was like, I wonder if there are any kind of effects or whatever. I don't know.
No.
It does. It's hard for me to balance because of starting to take the medication.
Right.
You know, in the
you gotta
last
be careful with
bunch of
anything
months.
that's gonna.
No, but because that's kind of chilling me out.
Yeah.
I didn't start that beforehand.
No, it's
Like,
what I'm
I
saying. Like
feel like
anytime you're on
if
a
I
new
did-
medication, anytime you don't
Right.
want to play kitchen chemist.
No, not at all.
But I will say, like in California, I thought it was because marijuana is legal there, and maybe that's part of it. But now hemp too. That I bought all these like soaps and bath salts with CBD in them when I was there earlier in the summer, and I did find it to be a very soothing bath. Like I was very relaxed. I mean, it could have been because I
Sure.
run a really good bath and the smells were nice, or it could be like the CBD oils were like soothing the muscles. But I found it to be a delightful soak.
Right.
Interesting.
And I've tried a couple soaps, but I don't remember which ones have CBD and which ones don't, so I don't know which one I'm relaxed.
you'll be clear.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm curious about their CBD cocktails, though. I may have to.
Yeah.
stop by
I'm
for a
trying
little
to figure
drink.
out how that would
And I
be.
like the idea of being-
I've read a bunch of articles about it, and just kind of the fact that it's becoming a little bit of a trend in some areas, and the popularity of it. I haven't seen anything on like the different effects and how it interacts with alcohol.
Okay.
But I think it'd be better than like Red Bull.
Everything is better than Red Bull and alcohol.
Taking alcohol and adding jet fuel
My
to it.
fucking broken hand
Yeah.
will tell you about Red Bull.
Yes.
I just-
Oh,
all
yeah.
I-
I was there.
Were you there for that?
I was there. Yeah.
All I remember saying when Red
What
Bull
a great day that was.
I was there.
when
Yeah,
Red Bull
great
came on
day.
the
That
market, I was like, DUIs are going to go up like 1,000,000% right now because people are going to be so awake from the Red Bull that they don't realize how drunk they are from the vodka. That motherfucker.
right.
Yeah.
And sure enough, bam, 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 bam.
And I'm an invincible drunk to begin with.
Yep.
Add Red Bull.
Oh yeah.
That was a
yeah.
good
I
time.
just counted off the friends getting DUIs.
I mean, I've done some real fucked up
Yep.
shit, but on that, oh my god, I almost threw
And
up.
What a
luckily,
great day.
Oh my god.
luckily taurine makes me
So
sick.
big the next day.
Yeah, oh, it was awful. Oh god, that was awful. We just watched
so,
it go.
So Jenny, our medical marijuana expert, CBD alone has no euphoric
Right.
effect or hallucinogenic. You need THC for that, but I've tried balms and oils for arthritic pain of both THC and CBD. Not convinced it helps. Yeah, I kind of walk by the balms and oils parts of Colorado and California, Massachusetts, DC, and just kind of say, really?
Well,
But-
the
but I
CBD
did finally
oil
try
that I
it.
have, I think that there are pieces of it that it's like when you take a sugar placebo effect.
Yeah.
I really wonder how much of it is kind of a placebo effect.
That's what I said about the bath. Was it just
I'm-
because I was relaxing in a tub, or
Right.
you know?
Right. Well, because they have the gummies that
Yeah.
you can get and this and that. Am I getting the same thing
Through
here?
the skin, she ain't convinced.
Right.
I wear a lot of sunblock.
Right. Anywho,
Agreed.
so yeah, but very
These are
interesting.
fucking addicting.
Yeah, those are really good.
Honey mustard and onion pretzels. Ooh, my breath stinks, but Jesus Christ, they're
I'm
delicious.
so glad I said no to that. I would have spit that back at you.
Oh, they're so
delicious.
good.
Yeah.
Blah.
All right. Headline.
We're going to get one more thing to share.
Yes.
Remember I told you last week when I was regaling you with the story of this 40-foot structure of steel and 8
Boy, do I
tires?
remember.
Yes, I
Yeah.
recall.
I got to thinking about this. I wondered if the band, one of the bands that had toured with the bus, ever had the bus in a video. And they do.
Stars in the video.
So
fun.
I was going to, I don't know if hang on, let me get to this. I found on
The
YouTube.
Georgia Satellites.
No, it's not. It's called Mickey and the Motor Cars is the name of the band. So you'll see this bus is going to come up in this video going down. I listened to the whole song last night. So there's the
There
bus
it
in the
is.
back. No, wait. It shows it going there. They're getting out of it. It shows, there it is. That's it right there.
I love it.
So, and then it shows it going down the highway, but then at the end of the video, it shows them all getting back in it. And there are various shots within the video of them on the bus playing this song to make this video, which I thought was pretty cool.
That
is
is
very
cool.
We're gonna get dinged for that shit, aren't we?
Well,
No,
that's why I'm
he's
talking over it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right,
so,
YouTube censors be
so-
damned when there's
yeah,
a bus
there-
in the
no.
video.
Yeah. I'm like, hold on a
No,
minute.
no, but I'm talking
I
over
held
it.
it all the
I'm
time.
talking over it purposely so that
Also,
it
is
won't.
this a prequel to A Star Is Born?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They feel dirty enough to be Bradley
But if I'm not
Cooper.
mistaken, here that shows them at the very end of the see. So then they're all
now they're gonna get
they're
back
going to
on
get
the
all
bus.
on the bus. So
Oh,
I just
that's
again I
cool.
just thought that was
That
so
wheel
neat.
$20. You pay $20.
And there it is going down the road.
Look at it go.
I
Now,
just
does it run like that now?
no, it does not.
Okay, I just
No, it
thought
does
I'd
not.
ask.
Does not.
Asking
Does
for a
not.
friend.
But
So mean.
But you will.
Mean
But
girl.
it will.
eventually it will. Sure, it will. Sure, eventually it will. But it.
On that bus. On that bus.
Oh my God.
That's good.
I feel like there's so many things I'm never going to live down. It's all right.
You mean like living in a radio? Growing up in a radio?
Let's kick off our beginning of hour 2. It's our headline segment. A lot of the stories that we were going to do last week that we didn't because, well, we talked about everything else far too long. Headline number 1. Now that's a fire.
No laws when you're drinking claws.
Nero and the maggots.
Florida man.
Arizona County Supervisor says gay lifespan is only 42 years.
What's better than 1 egg?
Two.
Two.
eggs.
Kelly over Sally.
Florida woman.
Toilet explodes in Florida from a lightning strike. And German sausage vending machine is very popular.
Does that come with casing.
Maybe. I don't
Condom
know.
on that thing.
We'll call it whatever. All right, kids, we're going to be back in about 2.5 minutes with headlines. Stick with us.
David, what does burning smell like?
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Educates, syncopates, radio communicates, radio, the sound of year-round pleasure.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Well, lo and behold, we've made it through the break. We all got snacks or coffee or whatever the hell we did, but we've made it back. And aren't you happy? I'm sure you are. It's Q Talk America. I'm Clayton McKee, along with Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkin, rounding out our cast. Hi to everybody in the chat room, both in the regular chat room and on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
Which somebody's monitoring
Bridget,
somewhere.
Tomo,
In our first
Leslie,
hour, we caught up
my
on a lot
man.
of wonderful, intelligent things that we've all done of late, meaning being out in the heat excessively. Kat Carlson is currently looking for commercial properties for us to move into with a bus at a shirt press company or
Might as well
screen
move the
printing.
studio there too.
We might do. Well, we have to because
We're gonna have to.
because this goes. I have no choice. We'll
It's
figure
gonna
it
be
out.
great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Anywho,
screen printing / studio / bus workshop.
Oh, I like
lawnmower repair. We'll do it all.
Oh my gosh.
We'll do it all. Well, a failed booty call turned into a red alert when a New Jersey woman showed up at the home of a man who allegedly texted her for sex at 4 a.m. on August 4th, then fell asleep before she arrived. Intent on having a hot date anyway, Taja Russell, age 29, went into the Woodbury, New Jersey gas station, bought lighter fluid with a lighter, and started the unidentified caller's home afire with him inside.
Atta girl.
Upon arriving at the victim's home, Russell called the man 8 times. He did not pick up the phone, according to police. She allegedly texted the man, "I see you want to die." And she also said, "You wasted my money to come all the way out here," before the blaze was extinguished.
Wow.
The victim escaped through a window, but suffered from burns and smoke inhalation. Wearing only a T-shirt and covered in soot, he ran to a nearby police
We need to
station.
boot it out of there.
He ran to a nearby police station around 4:30 a.m. to get help. Now, police said the home and its contents were completely destroyed. Though firefighters saved the man's dog, Russell was reportedly arrested Tuesday on charges including arson and attempted murder. She was being held without bail. Damn, Gina.
Damn, Gina.
She was.
That's a lot.
He just, you know, he's like, she ain't gonna come. He just rubbed one off and passed out, and she's like, "You home, motherfucker!"
I mean, wasn't he better off that he didn't let someone with lighter fluid in on a date?
Oh no, she went and
She had
got
to
it.
go buy it.
No,
She
she
didn't
went and
come with
got
it.
it. Yeah.
Fair. All right.
She wasn't coming in that hot, but she was apparently.
She was upset.
She was upset.
Catfish that bitch. That's
My
fair.
gosh. Nope.
You know, I've always said that's my favorite kind of crazy. Don't know if I'm waking up to bacon and eggs or a knife in my face. Either way.
Is that breakfast cooking or me?
Right.
Is this the Dahmer residence?
Yeah,
Do
right.
I eat today or do I die today? I don't know.
I don't know.
Decide
It's gonna be
carefully.
We've all been
exciting.
in those relationships.
It's gonna be
like-
exciting to find out. You know what else was exciting to find
Do
out?
tell.
Yeah, she had my name. I remember
A
that one.
delighted retiree who was a big fan of boiled eggs for breakfast had a dream come true this week. He cracked open his egg, only to find another egg inside.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
What in the world?
They're twins.
it's a baker's dozen.
He told his local news station that he had a boiled egg on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on one week, and then on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday the next week, depending on whether or not he visits his lunch club. Sure, that seems like a sensible schedule.
The lunch club.
I'm liking this so far. Tell me more. I like this. I like the
Can I
symmetry.
get dinner at the lunch club or no?
No, dinner club, different.
Very
Right,
different.
different.
Two clubs.
Two clubs.
Two very different.
Boiled eggs 3 days a week. Got it?
Yeah, I'm up on that.
That's a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
He
Farts
says
that are
I
really gonna stink
normally
up a house.
get double yolkers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sure, that'll happen. So I assumed this would be one as well, but when it went to cut the top off, bam, second egg
Russian
inside.
dolled that shit.
Couldn't believe it.
Russian
That was a really
doll.
good show, by the way.
That's 156 eggs a year on average.
He says I took a spoon, put it into the double yolk egg, and there was a perfect second egg, all shielded up with a shell and everything, yet to be cracked.
Oh my god, it's like Christmas.
2 shells were even different colors from the others. I was flabbergasted.
Crazy.
Biracial chickens.
Flabbergasted.
Wow.
2 different dads.
Something was in the hen house there. My God. That she shed was on fire.
Oh yeah.
It was on fire.
Woo, coming in hot.
Coming in, yeah. She had 2 men in the same
He
day.
says it's like
Wow.
a buy one, get one free offer.
Is it though?
Completely thrilled about his unique egg. He even called his daughter. Asked her to look at this.
I don't know how this
you
made
take a
it to
look
a
at
news story.
Susan, come here.
Susan!
Look at this.
You got, honey.
Here, you
You
smell
got it.
this. Does it smell bad to you?
Yeah.
What is this?
You gotta,
this
you gotta
hot?
see this shit.
How did this story make it into a news cycle?
Because it does.
Because he called his daughter.
I
Well,
guess.
She was like, "Damn, Dad,
Because here's what happens.
Damn, Dad.
that's newsworthy."
There's a publication, we'll call it loosely a publication
Oh.
called the Daily Star,
Ah.
which is like the Weekly World News but for British
I
people.
see. Right.
Oh, sure.
And it's wonderful. Wonderful. Because Bill and his double egg
made
Yeah.
it.
were thrilled.
Made it up to like page 4.
Yeah.
I mean, she found it, so probably
Very
page 1.
exciting.
She doesn't dig deep for stories.
Yeah, none of us do.
Above the
If
fold.
it's not on that first page, none of us are looking.
And
Not
remember,
happening.
this is a good reminder of why you need to buy your local paper. Journalists need jobs too.
Right?
Because this is what they're doing now.
Yeah.
What story
'Cause
you
this is
working
what
on
they're
today?
doing.
Joe
2
had
eggs.
2 eggs, yeah.
2 eggs in one.
slow news day.
Turns out there's even a name for it.
What is it?
It's called counter peristalsis.
I thought it was double penetration.
Nope.
Oh, no.
That's a much different
Yeah.
category.
Don't Google that, or do. If you know what's coming,
Choose your own
literally.
adventure.
Yeah, choose your own
Oh.
adventure.
All right, I gotta text somebody. Marty, it's up to you.
Well.
When she starts like that, I don't know where we're going. That's always a.
I have to tell you, this is
Do I need the cult of Gumi to get me
this
through
is
it?
no. This is for Nero.
All right.
So we're doing this for Nero,
All right.
and I have to tell you, for me, this is a very difficult story to do.
When did you put that shirt on?
Oh, just a minute ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just like, wait a minute. We had a wardrobe change
Yeah.
during the
no,
break.
I mean,
Didn't know.
it's a lot of big and a lot of weight, but it was just a lot of
Our-
me
you know, our
before,
costume
and-
people are just
yeah,
off
right
stage.
outside.
Good to
Right
know.
outside
In the
door.
wings, if you
Our,
will.
our dressers.
They were like, could you put something?
Could you please?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Tell you.
Anyway, so last week, when I got home, there was a note from Nero on the Facebooks.
All right.
And allow me to read.
Please.
Please do.
So, I was going to share this with all of you as soon as the show was back for the new season, but I wasn't able to awake yet, and my brain wasn't working properly. So, I'm
Ours
just going to
wasn't either.
share this with you, and you can either, nailed this one right away, which you can either be sick or be in awe and share this with the rest of the group. Well, I was sick, and now I'm sharing with the rest of the group.
So kind.
This is.
I think this milk is bad
'cause
tasting.
this is. I mean, I'm kind of going along with this, right? So this is. It's kind of like crime scene footage,
Oh.
except it's cleaning.
Are there accents?
I know.
Clean.
Well, it's in Florida.
Can there be accents?
Part of it's in Florida.
Wait,
It was,
what?
I sent something to Clayton.
Do I have, do I
I
have a
don't
part?
know if you
Oh,
can
wait.
get it or
Do I have
not.
lines? Do I have lines?
Jeff Lines, I know.
I don't know. So this is
I need just a
episode
minute to get in
9
character.
of Crime Scene Cleaning. It's a
Oh.
real cleaning company that films their work.
Oh, hang on a minute. I got.
So she thinks it's absolutely fascinating, and if I had a proper group of people to work with, this is what I would do for the rest of my working years.
Oh, for
Who
crying
sent
out
this to you?
And Nero.
Oh.
And I can so see that from different things that have been put on Facebook and whatnot. I can absolutely see
I know you're gonna be
Nero
stunned.
being fascinated with this.
I've done that kind of work.
I'm not shocked at all.
I can
I'm
see.
not-
I can see you're
There's
stunned.
absolutely no stunned here.
Yeah.
But this is
No.
episode 9.
No.
Maggot
no,
Racing.
No.
Oh,
No.
maggots are the worst. No, I don't
No,
want to see maggots.
We're not. I'm no.
I'm just telling. See,
No.
look at everybody else reacted here. Look
Not
at me.
hap-
I'm the strong one. I'm the strong one.
Not happening. Not no. Oh God,
I never
no.
did like the
Oh,
maggots.
no.
I am telling you that
We're-
as I sat through it.
I'd
How about,
rather-
just how about just the link to the story so everyone can find it on their
Share
own?
it in the
Yeah.
share it in the face in the
Okay,
chat room. Or
so-
I'm not showing that.
I'd
Oh.
rather wait until they
but
turn
it
into
was
flies.
very
Maggots are
interesting because they're going through and they're cleaning everything
Please don't.
and yeah, please.
I also can't do that.
pretend. Yeah, I can't
It
handle
was a
that.
mustard onion pretzel vomit's going to be a
But
good time.
they're holding them up and they're
gotta
like
go home.
racing along their hand. It really
You're
is
still telling the
something.
story. I can. You
I
haven't
am, but
stopped.
you're not looking.
No. Oh no, I'm not. I'm done. I've shut it
No?
off.
Anyway, I've done my part for one of our listeners
That's very kind.
and friend who has given so much to the show, and you people just shut it down.
Yep.
No, I've done that kind of work, and it takes a certain kind of
Say
weirdo
it,
and a
tried,
certain
Nero.
kind of like desensitivity to do that.
Yeah,
And the
I could-
decomps
I couldn't.
decomps are the worst.
Well,
that
and they
smell
talks-
sticks to you
Yeah.
for weeks.
As someone who
I
works
went
with some
to
funky
the-
smells,
Right.
they're the ones that you
Yeah.
just go home with.
Decomp is the
And you
decomp
wake-
is
you
the
wake
one
up, like,
that you
4 hours later,
shower
you're like,
3 times
yeah,
and you change
nothing.
and you
But
leave your
this
clothes
is a little
outside
bit
and you still go.
different, too.
You got to do the menthol
Smell
up
that.
the nose.
Oh, it's
yeah.
awful.
This is a little bit different too because it's the business is SpaldingDecon.com is where with the website. Like we buy hoarding houses for cash. I already called them. They can't have mine.
'Kay.
But they do all kinds.
Did you just
of,
call them to warn them? Like don't call me.
It does, Jenny, in Florida. But it really was
I
kind
could
of
see
an
maggot racing being a
interesting
whole
Nope.
industry in Florida.
Yeah.
I can see
A
that.
Floridian coup, if you
Oh
will.
my
But
God.
I
yeah,
would say
so
Pensacola's gonna be the
aftermath of
headquarters.
an accident, a death, a drug lab, hoarding.
Yeah.
I mean, just all kinds of stuff. But it was fascinating that it's all of those things, not just. The
Oh, sure,
idea
it's a lot of things,
decomp.
yeah.
Right.
No, yeah, decomp was the worst.
can't
The
even
easiest
imagine.
were actually like the gunshot wounds, like the really fresh stuff,
I'm gonna vomit.
like suicides and gunshot. Like that was the easiest because
Girl.
you just like scoop it all up and bleach it all up and away you go. Decomp was the worst because you had to like take stuff out.
After things have liquefied. How'd that go?
Oh my god, there was
Oh,
one
thank
guy
you.
that made it all the way to the basement
I
from
love
like
you
the
too, dear.
third floor.
I love
He
it.
like decomped
Thanks
all
for
the way
putting
down.
that in there because I don't know how to do that.
Gross.
I think
I can't.
I think
I
we're done with that.
can't.
My
Even
favorite was
imagine.
all the big strong guys that they would send with me because I would need
And
muscle.
they'd pass out.
and they
Yeah.
would not go into the
No.
house or they would not
Yeah.
be able
No.
to do it and I'd have to call the shop. I'd be like, Carol, you can't do it, you gotta send me
I
another
need a
one."
manager.
Carol was the
So
manager.
Bridget says the Mennonites near
Oh.
Phoenix made her she shed, Graceland Sheds. So
Oh.
there you go.
Oh,
And she
you
also
get an
says
Elvis
she,
reference
she
too.
wished she had time
Nero, I
I'm
to
looking
plan
them
her
up.
egg schedule.
She's for what? I'm sorry.
Plan her egg schedule,
Oh,
so
I
she
see.
knew exactly what day she'd be eating eggs.
So we're done with that crime scene.
We are. I just need to point out that I did my part as much as I could because that anyone who knows me, anything that moves faster than I do, terrifies the shit out of me. That includes maggots. I
Yeah.
learned
They
because
don't move faster
Because of
than
their
you.
race.
They move faster than me
Because of the racing.
because of the racing.
Yeah. Well, we're
Yes.
gonna let's fight.
I mean, oh,
We're gonna close this now.
there you
Okay.
have it. Crime
So-
scene footage.
to Studio C reenacts crime scene
Cleanups.
Join us next time for crime scene footage.
stirring anthem.
Al, it's your story.
All
Thank you
right,
for
just
letting
as
me do
gross.
it.
A woman
Oh, I don't think so.
in Florida reportedly
Oh,
shared
I
a
can
video to
believe it.
social media of her daughter licking a tongue depressor at a medical facility in Jacksonville.
I heard of this.
Future home of maggot racing once the Pensacola
Sure.
location gets shut down. And replacing it in a jar of unused ones, was arrested this week on a felony charge. God bless the police for this one. Corey Ward, 30, allegedly filmed the video at the All About Kids and Families Medical Center on Tuesday and uploaded it to a private Snapchat before it went viral. The video depicts a sign in an exam room telling patients not to touch the medical supplies before a hand can be seen removing the lid from a jar of tongue depressors and reaching into them. The camera then pans to Ward's daughter, who reaches in the drawer, moves one of the depressors, licks it, returns it to the drawer. She pats the jar before replacing the lid. The facility confirmed to the NBC affiliate that Ward's daughter was a patient at the medical center, not just traveling by to lick things. The medical office told reporters in a statement after that, learning of the incident, we contacted law enforcement to request a full and thorough investigation. In addition, we immediately removed all materials and containers from the specific exam room and re-sanitized our entire facility. Ward was arrested on a felony charge of tampering with a consumer product without regard for possible death or bodily injury. She is not eligible for bond, and records listed her next court date as an upcoming Friday.
Wow.
Prior to her arrest, this charmer took to Facebook on Wednesday to address the incident before appearing to delete her account. Ward wrote in a post that she didn't know...
Lost his place. Stand by.
No, I don't understand this sentence. That she didn't know was that there was a licking challenge referring to another viral video of a girl licking a tub of Bluebell ice cream. Oh, and a story of her
And
returning
that
to a
bitch went to
freezer.
jail too.
Texas police have since located that girl behind the video. Because she's a minor, her case will reportedly be turned over to Texas juvenile courts. A copycat video by a Louisiana man has landed him in jail, though he reportedly had a receipt for it and claims he purchased it afterwards. According to the TV station, Ward wrote on Facebook that she shared the video on my personal chat snap with my 20-something friends, where someone allowed another person because it's their fault.
Right,
So
blame
basically,
them.
she spends the next 5 seconds blaming her friends for snitches get stitches. But no, jail.
No.
Yep. Hate to say it, jail's
Yeah.
where you belong.
Right. Yeah.
It's like littering.
Right.
Yep.
And-
I'm gonna
and-
forgive a lot of
Yeah,
people, a lot
that
of stuff.
lick some ice cream thing
Yeah,
lasted
no.
for like a minute, and then the first couple of kids went to
Jail.
jail
Yeah.
because it's a
And they should.
felony.
Right.
And they goddamn
Yeah.
And
should.
they should. Yeah, no, I don't. I
Yeah.
100% agree.
And
Don't
yes,
be
Jody,
licking my
that
ice
story
cream.
was saved from a couple of shows ago, but so I'm sorry it's not current, but
Ooh, snotty.
Wow. No, but I agree. We had not covered that story, but I'm wondering if there is actually if there may be an update to that story. Maybe she's been singed at this point. I don't know, but I would like. Yeah, that's bullshit. You don't
just
go
have
in and do
strangers
something.
lick her daughter for
Well,
a little
and then
while.
there, in
Just in the
addition,
face, nothing
But
dirty.
in a-
Nothing dirty.
In addition, there were those kids that were going
Settle
through
down.
messing with. Well, actually, I saw it at Crack Fries one night. I don't know their names, but the security guards that are there at the front door that couldn't chase anybody, like they couldn't outrun maggots.
Oh,
I'm
right,
gonna tell
right.
you,
It's poor maggots.
I saw.
They're saving up for the Pensacola games.
I saw 3 guys one night, younger kids, walking through and messing with and taking lids off of jugs in the store. And I went to the security guy. I'm like, get those kids out of here. And they went and got them and then pulled footage from because he told me a few days later I was in there and he said, hey, thanks for telling us. We caught the kids and pulled whatever items off the shelf, whatever they did. But I'm like, that's bullshit. I mean, and that was happening about when that girl licked the ice cream thing.
And Ariana Grande did it too. Remember, she did something with a donut one time.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's right. She did do that.
I'm not going to lie. I've certainly done that at work. Somebody brings in a bunch of cupcakes.
This one's
and I-
mine.
Yeah, lick one. That
Oh,
one's mine.
sure.
Fuck you people.
But not at the
Yeah.
counter and then putting
Yeah,
it back.
right.
on
No,
the
no, no,
shelf.
not for customers. Like
I know,
with
I'm like, huh?
coworkers,
Yeah.
it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
So when you lick the
They're already
cupcakes for your
purchased.
coworkers,
Yes.
Well, let's.
You've already bought them.
From
Someone
what-
bought
Licking
them.
Right.
cupcakes for coworkers.
From-
I mean,
and then
you're
I
still
mix them up
gross.
and I tell them, guess what? One of them is licked. Fuck you.
From one group of intellectuals who lick things to
Oh.
another dumbass in our lovely state of Arizona who needs to be licked not in that loving way. Ron Gould, who's a Republican and an Arizona county supervisor and a former state senator, he believes that gay people have a life expectancy of 42 years. He made these claims in a recent
close.
trust me, you're fine. Look, you're sitting here. We're fine.
Oh, that's true. I know a lot of homos
Yeah.
older than me. Never mind.
He made these claims in a recent article published by the Kingman
That was a
Daily
squeaker.
Miner, which tells you right there, Kingman. He's in fucking Kingman.
Fucking king.
Kingman is a truck stop on the way to Vegas
The
from here.
Pensacola of Arizona.
Right. When pushed further for an explanation, Gould was asked if he believes the short lifespan has become because of a person's
So close.
sexual orientation. Quote, that's why they die, Gould
No.
explains. Quote, we all have our sins,
'Cause they
but we
gay?
should try to suppress them. Alcohol is harmful too, but we don't see groups promoting alcoholism. Yeah, we do. They're called bartenders.
And
This bitch right here.
Although
and
there
if
3
you have a
hours of
problem,
Super Bowl
please go.
commercials.
Although-
if I'm not mistaken.
Although there is no proof behind the claim, the Phoenix New Times magazine found a correlation. Quote, Gould probably got the number from an unscientific study conducted by the Anti-Gay Family Research Institute back in 1994. Researcher Paul Cameron, who was terminated from the American Psychological Association over this research, counted obituaries in the newspapers serving the LGBTQ community and alleged that he found an average lifespan of 43 for gay men. Gould also doesn't think same-sex marriage is a civil right and insinuated LGBT people should be ignored. Quote, it used to be tolerate us, now it's accept us. Fuck you, Mr. Gould.
I gotta say, I'm on board with ignoring the gays. I do it a lot.
Oh, we have to.
Some of y'all are assholes.
Or I just
Bet you
can't.
three.
I've used that unfollow button on Facebook more times than I can count. Listen,
Yeah.
some of y'all think we're
Happens.
friends.
Happens.
We're sure
But
not.
we ain't.
We're sure not.
In fact, I made a man cry the other day when I looked at him and I said, "We're not friends."
In person or on
Oh,
Facebook.
in person, yeah, we're not friends.
It's not how
That
any of
made
this
me
works.
laugh.
No.
Yeah.
Not putting
He's
you
like,
on my wall.
But I thought, no, bitch.
No?
When have I ever seen you when I'm not
We
serving
all
you
are
vodka?
running near
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not friends. It's okay.
So I will, in his teeny tiny defense, in those '90s years, especially if you just went to the Quilt, and that was one of the things that made some of the last showings of the Quilt, is that it just kept hitting you that like everybody,
young.
Yeah.
was
Right.
They
like-
died really young.
That's right.
and like you would very rarely see anybody past 40 on that thing. And so if he's looking at like the obituaries in
Right.
the Advocate or something like that, it's unscientific, but it's an easy conclusion.
Right.
to
No,
jump
I'm not
to.
saying that that
Right.
little piece of data is
Right, right,
accurate,
right.
but him to take that as to gospel to mean that
Oh,
all
yeah.
gay people die at 42 years old. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Has he? Does he know Ellen DeGeneres? For God's sakes, she's what?
She's
her
almost 60.
60. We got all. We're
Or is she
everywhere.
60?
Some of us in this room are above
that
a
old?
half a century mark.
Not all of us.
Scary stuff.
No, I said some of us.
Oh yeah.
2 of us are coming this
getting
fall
there.
I was just gonna say
to a theater near you.
Well, I mean, we're getting there, but we're not there yet. That's all.
gotta-
I was just being specific.
both feet and one hip are through the door, you two.
Hey, just being specific.
Yeah.
Just,
I have a walker in a closet, a brand new walker in case I ever need it. I'm just ready.
I got moms.
Yeah, well,
You got tennis balls on the front, so you can
Oh,
roll a
totally.
little further.
You gotta
I
keep
do
that.
have tennis
Every time I
balls.
see
We
that,
don't
I'm
want
like,
to scrape up the floor.
yeah. But I'm like, bitch, are gonna roll and fall.
Yeah, that's okay.
Whatever.
I don't want to hear your sex noises.
No, tennis balls.
I don't want to hear about your diseases
What
either.
you, what you do on your own time is your
Your
business.
business, yeah.
That's fine. Yep.
Take it away, Cat
All
Carlson.
right. Running with it.
So one of the most interesting natural phenomenon in America is the mating call of the American douchebag. Because it changes.
Tommy Robin?
When Trump
Tommy Robin?
talks.
It evolves. It evolves.
Okay.
Does
Okay.
it?
The current iteration is the siren call of "There are no laws when you're drinking claws."
Oh.
That's
all
right.
all
White Claw, alcoholic seltzer water, Zima in a can,
Right, exactly.
with a new hat on.
Nope.
Oh, I'm not mad about that.
The North American douchebag will proudly proclaim,
I'm totally gonna buy.
"There are no laws when you're drinking claws." But the Wisconsin Police Department feels differently.
Yeah.
Ah.
They feel very differently. In fact, they feel so strongly differently
Oh.
that they responded to a popular social media term
Right.
by taking to their own Facebook to remind citizens about the truth. The truth,
Yeah.
I tell you.
Okay. Okay.
That will
The truth will set you free,
Yeah.
goddammit.
Something.
It's right here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, well.
Some people like to
Wisconsin.
say, ain't no laws when you're drinking claws.
Well done, Bridget.
But the police department says, we're here to remind you that even when you're drinking White Claws, because they talk like your grandma,
On the
laws
Davenport.
still do apply.
Yeah.
Remember to drink responsibly and never drink and drive.
Oh,
Those are good messages.
well, they are.
Now, the
I wish
disturbing
I- I
part of
wish
this
they had
story-
told me that a long time ago.
Keep your claws on the wheel.
Disturbing part of this story. Hard seltzer drinks have seen a recent increase in popularity. And PBR, Natural Light, and Four Loko have all announced that they'll be joining the trend
Natty Light.
with their bullshit hard seltzers.
Have you seen that Natty
What
Light has
the fuck?
strawberry lemonade?
What
Natty Light.
the fuck? That's the shit we used to shoplift
Yes.
out of the fucking Safeway.
I didn't shoplift it, but I
I
know
mean,
what you
I shoplifted, but the statute of limitations
I was
is
just letting up
long over.
crime
long
scene.
ago.
She needed relief.
This is
I'm not
the
judging
shirt.
you.
You could, it could have been made
I
in.
could make some of those,
Look at that.
sure.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws.
But I wouldn't put the logo that close to the collar because that's going to look terrible.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially on a V-neck.
Especially if you got big
No,
boobs.
yeah, no good. Yeah, that,
No.
you don't want your logo way up here.
Right.
You can get that claw out of my
Yeah.
throat.
Wow.
Just gonna walk
just
past
saying.
that. Yeah.
Moving along.
So I had some of that white people devil juice when I was in Rhode Island. Land of white people.
devil
Yeah.
juice.
How'd that go?
Oh, it's filthy.
Yeah,
Oh, it's just bubbling shit.
I'll bet it's disgusting.
But in its defense, it's 5% by volume.
Okay.
So it's like, Canada, that's good 60 proof. Like, you're good.
Drink a vodka soda.
Drink anything but that. It was so shitty.
Drink everything but
And
that.
it's usually when I come back from a trip, it's something. There's a song that keeps playing. Like
Right.
it just like by the end of like a trip, I'm like, okay, I get it. I'll buy the
Right.
fucking cheerleader
This is the
song.
summer
You know what I mean? This is
song.
the summer song. You got me. I'm hooked.
Right.
Nope. You got me. This time it was like everyone was like, oh God, have you tried? Everybody, have you tried Claus? Have you tried Claus? Have you tried Claus? Have you tried Claus? I'm like, what the fuck are you all talking about?
I remember Zima.
So then finally.
We
and I-
shoplifted- we
love
shoplifted that
Zima.
too.
Come on,
And
I
I-
love Zima. I like anything sweet.
Oh my God,
though.
with grenadine in it. That's when I wanted to kill people.
That
Oh.
Barbara Seville all the time. That's
I
what
can
she
believe
drank.
that.
That's what
I
she
can
drank.
totally
Oh, they were
believe that.
filthy.
Why do I
So-
believe that?
Anything sweet. Sorry, Jenny. I don't know how to put fucking things in the. Damn it! I tried.
You did a great job.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We're
I
proud of
understand
you.
it. Thanks.
Call your mom.
Finally, in the Rhode Island, I was like, all right, pass it over here.
Give me the
I
stuff.
at least
Give
want
me
to
the
say
goods.
I had one of the white people devil drinks. Filthy.
Did you feel like there were no laws? Did you feel
Ooh,
lawless?
sans law.
I feel like we were lawless for the rest of the evening.
There it
as
is.
as only white boys in
Testimony,
polo
right.
shirts can be.
Sure.
But it was very funny because I was like, and then I remembered not understanding the Zima taking off the shirt or whatever it is. Is it the White Claw taking off the shirt to show it's a Zima?
The one I saw was the Scooby-Doo villain, and they were
Oh,
pulling off
yeah,
the
yeah.
mask.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the one I saw. So I was like,
You meddling
oh,
kids.
Yeah, now
Let's see who you really are.
Right.
Boom, Zima.
Now,
And I would've
that was
gotten
like,
away with
oh, I understand it, and I was like, oh, you poor children, why?
Cyclical. Everything goes in cycles. It
And
comes
it
back.
really is because
Yeah.
you need to get children hooked on alcohol. So why not make a bubbly, fizzy,
And they're less
lightly-
hooked on alcohol than ever before. So we really
You
need
got
to
to
get
work
them.
harder. Yeah, we got to get
what
them.
the
So
But they're all
What are we gonna
drinking
do?
those energy drinks like a
and
son
I
of a
thought
bitch.
it said white clam, so I was not going
Yeah.
in.
right. I did too. And I was like, oh.
Well, the wave thing really kind of
Oh,
throws you
And
off.
that's
Yeah.
why I thought, like, I'm not drinking clam
Oh,
juice,
clam
even if
juice.
it's
Ugh.
carbonated
It's like
and sprinkled
Clamato.
with.
Right.
God, I hate
I don't want-
Clamato.
Ugh.
Damn it, Nant. It's been a long time, but
One
I
time-
don't do anything
Every
with
time
them.
somebody
I've
asks
done
for
it a couple
Clamato, I
times
hit them.
correctly.
Mom and I were taking a trip, I believe, back to Missouri, and we wanted a Bloody Mary, and we walked into a bar, and they made a Bloody Mary with Clamato, and I thought we were both going to die.
Usually they're called Bloody Caesars. Usually
It's-
they
well,
warn you.
Right,
They-
right.
somebody
It
lied.
needs to-
It was
no,
horrible.
It's not okay.
Yeah. Usually you get warning.
No, we did not. There was no warning.
Yeah.
No. It-
Like, because I like a Bloody Maria sometimes with tequila
sure, a
instead
little
of
tequila,
Yeah,
yeah.
tequila
I've
instead
not
of
okay,
had- I've not
that's
enjoyed
fucking
that.
Delicious.
interesting, and I've never had one of those.
Oh, it's delicious. A Bloody
Oh,
Maria.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a right. It's
I'll
a
write
right
that on my
combo.
list.
Well, how do?
Yeah. How do you
Oh,
do?
welcome.
Interestingly, way better than vodka.
Yeah, it really
I mean,
does work
I'm a
better.
long-time vodka hater, so
Yeah,
No, but
but
Oh, you're the one.
I'm
but
the
I'm a
one.
vodka lover. But I have to tell you, the tequila goes with the spices and tomatoes.
Oh,
and the
It's
sure
a little
tomato
does.
better.
really nicely, yeah.
And then you
But
remember with
will you put
tahini.
that in the chat room, please?
You could, sure. Yeah, you could.
I
remember
tried.
tahini.
What are you trying to do?
Nothing. I tried to put something in the chat room. I had to delete it. Now I've gotten all kinds of shit.
Well, wait, is that what you sent me?
No.
Oh, something new.
No, I decided that I'm gonna do this instead because it fucking made me laugh just that hard.
Where's it?
All right.
You did your stories at my story. Whose story? Your
no,
story?
no,
Your story?
That was my story.
Your story's next.
No laws when you're drinking claws.
Close.
So
I saw mommy
just have
drinking
to-
White
So one of
Claws.
my favorite drummers.
I feel like I have to bring.
Little drummer boy.
Hey, no.
Ba-dum-ba-bum-bum.
He's right.
Very
Buddy
good.
Rich?
Very good.
Right by Jesus.
No.
Tommy Lee. There it is.
Always gonna be
How did I
Tommy
know?
Lee.
Really?
Always. Is
Is it from the
Is it
sex
because of
video?
the tattoo?
No. No.
Oh,
Oh, that was
Also
you
from
in
the
that
sex
video.
video.
Just stop it. Just stop it.
Oh.
Stop it.
there's a lot of
I
reasons.
thought she was well bosomed.
Oh yeah, I'm still on camera. I forget.
You look super different when you're in a blonde wig, though.
Always forget. I know.
On a
right?
boat rolling a joint.
Well, there you have it. Anywho.
Calling him daddy, didn't you call him daddy a lot?
Well, sometimes.
I feel like
But
she
I
did.
love Motley Crue. I just love Motley Crue, and Tommy Lee just was my favorite. And then became really a train wreck. Kind of came back from being a train wreck, and then I found this little gem, and I sent it to you guys. It's the Twitter, the tweet, as it were, that he put out, and so I'm just going to read it and let it resonate because it makes me very happy.
All right. Read away.
Resonate.
You
Get it.
Trumpsters better pray that liberals never gain control of the White House again, because we are going to pay you back so fucking hard for all of this shit. Planned Parenthoods on every damn corner. We're going to
Yes.
repaint Air Force One,
Abortions
pussy
for
hat
everyone.
pink, and fly it over your beloved Bible Belt 6 days a week, tossing birth control pills, condoms, and atheist literature from the cockpit. We're going to
Wait,
tax
we have
your
literature?
They do, yeah.
Oh, I know.
We're going to tax your mega churches so bad Joel Olstein will need to get a job at Chick-fil-A to pay his light bill. Speaking of Chick-fil-A, we're buying all of those and giving them to any LGBTQ person your sick cult leaders tortured with conversion therapy.
Fair.
Have fun with the new menu, you bigoted fucks. Try the McPence. It's a boiled, unseasoned chicken breast that you have to eat in the closet with your mother. We're going to gather up all of your guns, melt them down, and turn them into a gargantuan metal mountain emblazoned with the face of Hillary Clinton. All parks will be renamed Rosa Parks ASAP. We're replacing
Fair.
Confederate statues with Black Lives Matter leaders and Mexican immigrants. Every single public school will be renamed after a child that was kidnapped by this regime. And after we fumigate the White House, we're repainting the whole thing rainbow. Fox News will be taken over and turned into a family refugee shelter. We're turning Hannity's office into a giant unisex bathroom with changing tables and free tampons. And every single time a Trumpster complains about any of the changes, we're adding an openly gay character to a Disney movie. Fucking roared. I was like, Tommy Lee, I love you even more. But I just thought that was brilliant. The McPence. You
That
have
is
to
right.
eat
You have
it,
to be in the closet
With
with,
your
your
mother.
mother.
and it's a boiled, unseasoned chicken breast.
Much like Pence himself.
But much like that, yes.
That's how his mother describes
Anyway.
him. He's a
Oh, unseasoned little fucker.
Little bland bastard.
But I so appreciated that. I thought that was just everything. Brilliant.
Very clever.
Yes, it was very clever.
And
Yeah, I
later
did.
that day in Gibbston, Florida, authorities say a 56-year-old Florida man took
Nice.
his golf cart on a wild ride through a Walmart store,
The hell you say?
terrorizing shoppers and
Lord have
ignoring
mercy.
deputies like Clayton's orders to stop before crashing into a cash register. I was on man, though, because it's all self-checkout
Sure,
now.
sure.
Hillsborough County Sheriff's investigators. Oh, I should put my glasses on. I love when I squint and the glasses
I
are
know,
right
yes,
there.
yes. I do it so often.
That's
How's that
when you
going
know
for
you're
ya?
old and blind.
I see.
Investigators say they were summoned to the store near Tampa on Thursday, where they found Michael Dale Hudson blocking the liquor store entrance. Well, that's just a crime in itself. With his golf cart.
Rude.
The Tampa Bay Times reports he was demanding to speak to a manager. As deputies spoke to Hudson, they say he
Karen.
suddenly drove towards the store's main entrance. Customers jumped out of the way as he barreled through the door. He raced towards the checkout area, hitting several customers. He was jailed on multiple charges, including aggravated battery. A lawyer was not listed in the jail records.
Oh, well.
Tragedy.
Lawyers
it's-
are expensive.
The video is filed under intense police chases. I think not, but
Oh, I hope there is a video released today. I want to see him driving through the store. That's fantastic.
I mean, it sounds like you only made it from the door to the cash register.
So?
But
Still.
so
Well, no, to the liquor department. He had door to the
even
liquor
5
department.
seconds would be
No,
riveting.
no.
He blocked the liquor department,
I
so
know.
he made it a little ways.
I will
Good
look.
for him.
I'll look and see if we can find video.
It's
of that
like the
somewhere.
woman with the drinking wine out of the Pringles can.
At a
Oh, I
On-
loved
on
her
an
too.
electric
I loved
cart.
her.
Right, right.
Yeah.
There's no
God damn,
paper
I laughed.
accordion shit
Did
lining
she
that's
ever
gonna stop her.
know that she's my
And may I just to
hero?
Jenny, who stated that she was
Everything
using a walker
I
right
would
now.
like to
And Jenny,
be.
we're just saving up for when we do need that. There's
Yeah.
nothing
If I
wrong
could drink
with.
red wine
with being
from
limpy,
a
There's
Pringles
nothing wrong with
can.
needing that.
Oh no! I
We
just I
just
have it.
need
I have
that.
it on standby. So whenever I need it,
Or lean by, as it
whichever
were.
way. And I also
Yeah.
have one of those little the little shopping carts you see the little ladies driving
Yes?
through the
Oh,
store
yeah,
with
I
the
use
wheel.
those now.
I have,
Little
a,
rascal.
I have a brand new one in storage that I'm
love
like,
it.
at some point.
I'm gonna get the
you
one
never
that
know.
you can take up the stairs.
This
Oh,
hanger's
wait.
getting.
Have you
How
seen
big
that?
of a storage place do we need?
Hey, right now it's all fitting in this house except the bus and one truck.
All right.
And one truck is at his house.
Fair.
And another
How,
truck's across
how
the
big
street.
of a space
Yeah.
should I be shopping for here?
Big space.
We're gonna talk after the
All
story.
right. Yeah, no, that's good.
It has to be sold by volume. I've already told you.
Does Boeing have any buildings for
Yeah.
lease?
Maybe I
Something
should check at the Scottsdale Airport.
Yeah. Oh, God, I can't move
We
that
don't
far
want to
north.
go to Mesa.
I feel like Boeing's in Mesa here.
No,
Though.
we can't do that. No,
that's
can
too
do.
fucking far away.
Well, we're going to stay in Florida for a moment. A Florida
Hey.
woman says
understand that.
lightning destroyed her septic tank and then caused a toilet in her house to explode.
Shit.
Mary Lou Ward tells television station WINK News that the sole
Wink. Wink.
toilet in her Port Charlotte home was shattered into 100 pieces on Sunday. Ward says the explosion was the loudest sound she'd ever heard in her life and that she also smelled smoke. She says a plumber told her lightning hit the methane gas that was built up in the pipes from the feces. Yeah. Ward said that she'll have to get the toilet and septic system repaired, but she's thankful no one was injured.
Well, thank God.
The shitter exploded
You know,
again, Marge.
it's like when we were up in Flagstaff. Marna blowed up that commode.
Shitter's full.
Shitter's
Shitter's
full.
full.
Shitter's full. Well, my Marna, she blowed up that commode. We hear her as we're walking out. Come on.
Burn.
You have
left
two
cheek,
black
Woody
bean
Woodpecker.
burritos. The next thing you know, nothing is safe.
I can smell those already.
Yeah,
I
I
can
can
smell
too.
Oh,
the
the
gummies.
fresh,
So
the
good.
fresh smell of a
Gummy.
yeah,
A gummy.
roadkill
So
gumi.
good.
Don't eat the purple ones; they're bad for you.
Only red and orange ones.
Well, in our final story for our headlines, hungry Germans craving a sausage in the dead of the night are increasingly turning to vending machines
Don't Google anything in that sentence.
for their bratwurst, bockwurst, and barbecued meats. The machines
say
are
bockwurst?
the machines are booming outside German cities where shops are less likely to stay open for long hours, according to a survey by the German press agency. Quote, especially in structurally weak rural areas, vending machine solutions are
Structurally weak rural areas. That's not. Don't talk about me like I'm not here.
the machine solutions are becoming increasingly popular, says Heike Richter,
No.
an industry spokesperson.
Wrong.
You're the one. You're
You did it
wrong.
first.
I don't
There is
know.
a strong development
Hi.
towards the vending machine, which is used to deliver meat, milk, eggs, and other products to customers outside of core opening times of
I
stores.
wanted everything to start with an M.
Some butchers vending machines sell. Some butchers vending. Stand by, I'm reading a story.
Some bitches.
Some butchers vending machines sell
Some
3 or
bitches.
4 types of sausages and punnets of accompanying potato salad. So customers can buy all they need for a traditional hearty German feast. Other machines stock eggs, milk, butter, fruits, and vegetables. So all the kitchen essentials are available at any time. There are over, 570,000 vending machines in Germany. But despite their popularity, they're expected to complement rather than replace traditional shops operating in the same areas where a shop may not be economically viable. Vending machines will play a complementary role in brick and mortar retailing. Wolfgang Kampmeier of Berlin-Brandenburg Trade Association told the Berliner Zeitung newspaper.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
That's a mouthful of bratwurst.
Something.
The last little paragraph. In the international imagination, unusual vending machines have long had an association with Japan, where they have been known to sell everything from sake to underwear. And there is that.
There you have it.
Isn't that exciting?
There's just sausage
It's a lot.
pouring out of a vending machine that makes me happy.
But they're refrigerated. so it's
Breaking
good.
news.
What?
Denmark says they plan to lend Greenland to Canada for a while just to fuck with Trump.
And a girl,
Yeah, this just in.
I'm on board with it.
I swear it'll fit you. You can borrow it. You know what I mean? Just dry clean it before you bring it back.
Alrighty. It's you, Al.
So we're just going to talk about a couple shows, a supposed feud, I guess. The Netflix was fun, the So You Think You Can Dance. The girl that we couldn't quite identify in one show, we know who she is, a documentary, and then whatever you'd like to bring up to add to the festivities.
Very busy.
Very, very busy.
What's going on?
Very.
Super.
How long is this song? Super.
It's only
Thanks for
30
asking.
seconds. All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with Al Perkins and some entertainment right after this. I guess we're going to start right off there. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Where are we? Woo! We are back. We're coming in hot. Coming in hot. It's Q Talk America.
That's what
It's
she said.
a Tuesday night. We've talked about a lot of different things in tonight's show, so be sure to listen back. This is show number 394 on this 20th day of August. My gosh. Where's the year gone? Crazy. Kat Carlson is here. Marnie Ryer. That is Al Perkins. We've talked about headlines and what we've been doing.
I don't like how he says that. That is Al Perkins.
That one.
That over there. That one.
Yeah, that
Ooh.
piece of crime scene footage.
I don't like how he says that to
Yeah.
you. It's not very nice.
We'll have a production meeting. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it all out. All righty, kids. We're going to do a little bit of entertainment now with Al Perkins, talking about everything from movies to TV. Oh, Emmy Awards, too, I think, are coming up, right?
Oh, yeah,
so
'cause
many
it's the
things.
nominations.
Al Perkins.
So, well, we'll do a little brief talk. The Emmy nominations were all over the board, but one of the exciting things was Pose got recognized in its first year
Hooray.
for drama and for Billy Porter. And then upon watching the first season of Pose, I had to comment that I didn't really think he had an episode where a best actor in such an ensemble-y show. I really didn't feel like his
From
part
the
was
first season?
that first season. Like, he had like one strong episode that he probably submitted. But in general, I would say it's much more Blanca show. I feel like he's...
It's 100% her show.
Yeah, it's much more her show.
And I always feel like he's playing himself.
Yes. And
Like
it's
I'm always like, is that Billy Porter in real life? Because I feel like there's not a lot of acting involved here.
Yeah.
I always feel like Billy Porter's just playing himself.
And yeah, I have no way to argue that, but and I mean, he was so charming in in real life, because I've met him a couple times now.
Right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The softball movie. What's the gay softball movie?
League of Our
Broken
Own.
Hearts Club.
Oh,
That's
the other one.
that's ladies baseball.
There you
This
go.
is gay men's softball.
Fair enough.
Right?
But the Broken Hearts Club, he's wonderful in it, and I've been a fan for a long time. He got discovered through Bette Midler and through a birthday party of hers, and he's got a song on the First Wives Club soundtrack that is still to this day, 23
really?
years later, just astonishing performance.
I had no idea.
Okay.
He did his big break should have been the Dreamgirls live in concert, but unfortunately it was scheduled for September 13th, 2001, so it turned into another kind of benefit show.
Sure.
No.
And it didn't really get the press it should have due to other things happening in the area.
Things were
at
busy.
that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we've talked about it a couple weeks in a row now. The show's so good. Season 1 is on Netflix. The music is spectacular. I thought.
Did you see the beach episode this week or last week?
Yes.
I was in love.
Life's a Beach. It was terrific and romantic and fun, but I didn't realize that I had fallen asleep through an episode and never went back and caught it.
Oh.
The Osage, August Osage County episode with the dinner table scene. We were this close to eat the fucking fish, Mom.
Oh.
I mean, that was well
good, so
acted,
good.
well written, and really well directed. I watched that scene a couple times just for the nuances, like the blocking, how they were all reacting to each other, how much was going on, like a good old-fashioned gay throwdown of a fight, where we're gonna tell some secrets. It was very Friends when they would have the episodes where they would all tell secrets about each other,
Okay.
but not funny like Friends were.
Sure.
I mean, we kind of figured Monica broke the porch swing.
Fair.
Fair.
Right. We can all see that Angel's on coke. We can all see it.
We can all see it. But really, a really terrific, well done. Tonight is the season finale. It begins in about an
Is it?
hour.
I'm so sad.
Yeah, it's the season. And what a fast season it's been. From what I just read, they're gonna do another time jump. But this was an interesting. The first season, the timeline was so interesting, and this time jumping ahead to the year of Vogue, 1990, with Vogue coming on and their world finally being discovered by the mainstream, and then well, voguing's not so hot anymore.
Well,
what
it's
else
gone,
you got?
right.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna last forever. But and again, the music for the beach scene was just fantastic.
So good for that whole road trip.
That whole road trip, just
So
great
good.
music. So if you tune in for nothing else, just enjoy the nostalgia of all the things we enjoyed in the clubs back in the year of our Lord 1990. Just great songs.
You were 11.
And a half. I was 11 and a half.
And what? I still listen to music.
She still had a radio.
Still had a goddamn radio.
You were 11.
Maybe I wasn't in a club, but I was still listening to the fucking
'cause
radio.
Back in the day, all those that was still.
I have a broad range of music that I
Yeah.
enjoy,
The club-
Marnie.
I feel like the club
Fine.
to radio thing was a little bit more aligned with
Right.
me. I
Sure.
was still, I think 89, 90 is when me and the radio broke up, but somewhere in there I just had.
Ignore. That's for Cap.
Yeah, it's fine.
And had enough. So, just really, really enjoy Pose season finale tonight. Do not miss it. I don't think it's going to win an Emmy this year. It's kind of an honor to be nominated. Next year, I think they have a good shot because this season has
I think
been.
next year Billy Porter has a great shot.
Yes, because his role, he's now the co-star with Blanca, and the cast. It's so just chock-a-block with people of color, people of all kinds of sexualities, orientations, non-cisgender. If I'm using that, I mean it's just.
Yep, you're doing great.
It's just beautifully populated with the people of who would have been there. You're not watching some white people tell the story of.
It's the story of
Paris
people
is
that
burning.
have been so invisible.
Yeah, so invisible, so marginalized.
They're not wrong when they talk about they just want us to die. They're okay with it. That whole Heart Island.
Yeah.
That should win them Emmys all by itself.
Yeah.
Everyone submit that episode. That's your Emmys right there.
A landfill island is where they sent the bodies of AIDS victims in New York because they just sent them to a landfill because no one would bury them or touch them.
Right.
And I know that Tim had a little bit of a problem with the cabaret, but then there was that Ward 5B or that documentary that was just out
The
about
AIDS cabaret?
the AIDS ward that happened in San
Yeah.
Francisco. That every other Sunday they had a cabaret brunch, so people would come in just to perform for the people on the unit, and they were saying They were able to feed the patients that day. The people got out of their rooms, got out of the bed. Like the patients actually responded to like
Sure.
a social event, even though they were like so sick in the hospital. Like this thing, and the woman finally said, and she, after 17 years, they stopped doing the little cabaret brunch because luckily there was no more people to entertain. Like there was no one
Oh,
left
that's
in the
fantastic.
ward. People weren't as sick anymore. So it's just. So, you know, Tim was like, oh, I don't really understand. Like, that cabaret brunch just seems to be a way to be like, well, you can all sing, but it was going on.
No, that sounds
It was going
like
on, and it did a
real
lot
thing,
of,
right.
yeah.
Well, and we did a story about the lady, one of the women who were part of that, didn't we? A few weeks back, we did a story about that that same thing.
Yeah. And the one woman
nurse,
who did it, well, yeah, she would just ask, like, what food should we have out? Like, what will they actually eat? Like, if they come and sit out in the common area, what should we have out that they might eat for people who hadn't been eating? So, I mean, it was just, it's really well done. I can't recommend the show enough. I'm sad that I resisted that first season.
I have still not seen it, but I'm going to binge all of it. I know that's going to happen.
It's delightful. And then so we'll skip to Stranger Things. So Stranger Things season 3, 1985.
I've resisted so far. I'm not there yet. I'll get there.
I'm so in love with 1985 movies, even the horrible ones that I make fun of all the time. Every one of them is represented in an episode of Stranger Things season 3.
Okay.
And of course, the great battle, the whole finale takes place in a mall, like everything
course
that
it does.
did in 1985. Where are you going? The mall. You know what I mean? It was your answer to every question.
Right.
Oh, where's Susie going to be? The mall.
The mall.
Yeah. Where's Tiffany
arcade,
performing? The mall. Yeah.
Where's Tiffany performing? Right.
Right.
Tiffany and Debbie Gibson.
Where
both.
else were you going to be? So the one like breakout star this year, she works at a hot dog stand or a Spuds McKenzie's
Is
or
it hot dog on a stick?
some
Please
place
tell me
like
it's
that.
hot dog on a stick.
Spuds McKenzie.
It's somewhere where they're like dressed really stupid.
Hot dog,
Hot
on,
dog
a
on a
stick.
stick.
So she spends the whole season because at a certain point they all just start getting chased and running for their lives and like chasing the villains. And she's still in her work outfit, and it's just a kick-ass role. Like she really is like the star of this season, and she's having way more fun than anybody else is. And I just kept thinking she looks so goddamn familiar. So I looked her up on my IMDb page, not my page, but I looked it up on the IMDb page, and I was like, nope, I've not really seen anything that she's been in. I'm not familiar. And then a couple weeks ago, they were like, children who are now as famous as their parents. And they got to Uma Thurman. It's Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke's daughter, who's now old enough
Oh wow.
to be like the star of a TV show. And so it was Uma Thurman that I kept seeing.
right.
Sure.
It was just Kill Bill Volume 3. This time it's on a
It's in a
popsicle
mall.
stick. Yeah. This time it's a hot dog. Just phenomenal. And I'm going to spoil it for you because the minute you watch it and she come on screen, you'll be like, Uma Thurman's daughter.
Yeah.
Like, there she
there
is.
you have
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Sure. I see it
But
now.
so straight. It was like that same reaction the first time you saw Uma Thurman of like, what a striking woman. Like you're just kind of like,
Sure.
wow, the camera seems to like her. I can't remember what I was watching today. Oh, we'll get to that in a second.
Put a pin in that.
No, we'll go right to it. So You
Thanks,
Think
Rachel.
You Can Dance. All caught up on So You Think You Can Dance. We made it through. Also, I watched like 5 episodes this afternoon, drinking all that coffee and making bad decisions about how I was going to go outside. Just as good as always. Kat Deely and I are still very close friends. We're very, very close. Really
Good to know.
Of course, I believe that.
inseparable.
Sure.
She
Yeah.
is still the nicest host of any competition reality game show
Okay.
I've ever seen. Like I've never seen anyone that seems to genuinely care about everyone on the show as much and be rooting for all of them. Like she's just as excited when they do well. But to see these people do like all these different styles of dance, stuff they're trained in, stuff they're not trained in, it's like athletic, it's poetic, it's just so beautifully done. And of course, because now I'm caught up, I wanted to watch a few episodes at a time. I'm not in the mood for cliffhangers anymore. So, cried, bought music. So I'm like, well, that's a terrific dance song. That's a terrific dance song. That's a beautiful ballad that this gorgeous contemporary dance just made me weep into my pillow.
Sure.
Beautiful. So I know they have them all over the world. These So You Think You Can Dance competitions, like many countries have their own versions. It's just wonderful dancing, all with a good heart. Like if they play somebody that's not a great dancer, they have an inspiring story.
Okay.
Like they don't play anything to make fun of them. No one's on there in a
That's nice.
malicious way. And they do every style of dance. Like they do like Russian folk dancing. They do
Sure.
Bollywood. They do all these different styles of dancing, and some of them work, some of them don't. Like, I'm always amazed that these people can pick up Bollywood-style dancing in, like, one episode, and this one choreographer that makes them do, like, it's incredibly, like, gymnastic and entertaining, but you're like, they have never trained in this. And maybe now that the show's been on for 16 years, someone was like, you know what, I should probably take a couple Bollywood classes.
Right. I better learn that.
Get some fucking idea about how to do that, because if I want to be on that show, that guy, Nev, whatever his name is, going to come back. Still so good, but there was... one of the dancers came on, and you know she kind of got ignored for the opening things. Like you saw her once or twice, but then like they were down to enough that they kept showing her. And the first thing you notice was like, okay, the camera just loves her. And I started to think about like that quality, like when you see that on a TV show or a movie. Like the first time you saw Julia Roberts smile into a camera, and you're like, oh, that was just made to happen.
Yeah.
Like, there was no other job she was ever going to have. Because as soon as someone captured that smile on camera, she was just going to work on camera. Even if it was for, like, educational videos where she worked. Somebody was going to, like, make a movie with her teaching you how to use the filing system.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was the same thing with Uma Thurman's daughter. It was another one.
Nero.
Yeah. She, like, takes a look at... That hasn't updated in a really long time.
40 seconds ago.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, because Joe's thing...
That's old. It's wow. I had no idea. All right.
Yeah, these are.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that too.
Somebody should have updated me a long time ago
Sorry,
about
I
this
thought you knew
issue.
that.
I did not.
Sorry.
I keep looking at it too, going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can do something about that.
Oh, yeah, I'm so sick. So if I'm not responding to you, it's because our one screen has frozen. But just this girl, and I can't think of her name right now and say they can dance, just gorgeous. And then we'll go to new seasons, Mindhunter. One of the most fascinating books it should have been a fascinating book. It's not.
Okay.
It is the story of the criminal sciences division, the behavioral science divisions of the FBI. It's where Thomas Harris was like kind of stalking them in the late 70s and came up with Red Dragon and Silence of the Lambs and all that stuff. And so it's the truest story of the people that went and interviewed serial killers to help them catch other serial killers.
Right.
So in the book was just a really super dry read of just like, it just felt like somebody vomiting back statistics to you.
Sure.
And in the show, they've taken like the real interviews, they've placed them in, they're catching real killers, but the people
predecessor
doing
to
it,
the people at the FBI in Criminal Minds.
in Criminal Minds, exactly. It is those. It is
The
exactly those
BAU
people.
or whatever.
Yeah, the BAU.
behavioral
Assessment
science.
unit.
Yeah, something like that. So the first season, really good, all about Ed Kemper and like his story and like when
And
they
it's
were
called Mindhunter, you said?
Mindhunter, yeah.
Yeah.
And now this season takes them through how they found the Atlanta child killer. And so you have like real interviews with actual killers. You have the actual story and the backstory drama of the Atlanta child murders, which is a tragedy. And if you get a chance to read about everything they did
God.
wrong in that, it's
Yeah.
astounding.
Yeah.
And then the fact that they put together the model that, you know, serial killers don't hunt outside of their race very often. So then it turned into the community in Atlanta thinking you just came down here to hunt a black man.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? And like it was a racial tension that I found, it was very interesting because you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, this is all going to come off wrong. You know what I mean? They're inventing this new data. And whenever they would think it was a Klan person or this, they'd be like, are you just looking for someone to fit your preconceived notions? It was very rough, but it's excellent, excellent, excellent television. I watched it in a day. Like, seriously, just put on the pot of coffee and was like, I'm in. Like, I can't turn this off.
Okay.
From a book that I really did not enjoy at all, which still makes me laugh.
Right.
How much I
No.
did not enjoy that book. So Mindhunter, it's on Netflix. It just came
It's
out.
usually the flip
new
flop
season
of
just
that,
came out,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Where you love the book, and then all of a sudden they make a movie, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
The rule is always read the book last if you can.
Yes. Yeah.
See the movie and then read the book because then you get just more insight from the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, and like Nero said, and of course, I mean, you're watching crime scene videos.
Right. Absolutely.
Kinda got
though.
a taste of what you like. Really good. I talked about that. We talked about this. I also watched Waiting for a Plumber That Never Showed Up, the Mr. Rogers documentary. Have we talked about that? Won't You Be My Neighbor?
I
We did a
really
long
wanna see
time
that.
Ago.
Fred Rogers documentary.
Yeah.
I got it on
I
video.
shouldn't say a long time ago,
But
a
that
while
DVD,
back,
but I
yeah.
think it's on CNN. I feel like it's a
So
CNN documentary.
I think you're correct, but you're talking about the one that's actually a documentary
Yeah,
of
the
him,
doc-
not the movie that Tom Hanks
No,
has done.
Correct.
this is the documentary. What a beautiful tribute to this man, and like then they take you through the inevitable backlash of him being so kind, and like Tom Snyder on the Tomorrow and Today and Tomorrow. So what at the Tomorrow Show, just asking him like, are you really this straight laced? Like, are you really this like whatever?
Put a link in the chat room.
Oh, well
Very
played.
excited. Thanks.
Oh, look at that.
Thanks. I'm very
Beautifully
excited.
realized.
So proud
It's
of
all
you.
about, it's 25 memes about people who watch crime stuff, so I figured it would tie in.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry.
So, it's really well done. And then at one point, the Fox and friends get at him, and the perils of telling every child they're special. And it's like, you absolutely should treat every child as if they're special and precious. You don't have to give them all a trophy,
Exactly.
but you should at least be kind to them. Like, what the fuck? Those little morons. Because if you treat your children shitty, they're going to grow up to be Fox and Friends hosts. Because
Right.
those three fuckers on the
Or Trump.
couch are what shitty parenting leads to,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
those three motherfuckers with the
yeah.
rotating blonde.
Yeah. Right? Right?
So we talked about that. We talked about that. Mr. Rogers. It's called "Won't You Be My Neighbor." It is. It's really well done. His wife is still alive. His children are alive. Some of the performers on the show. The wonderful thing with integration of pools is he had a little kiddie pool on the set,
Right?
and he put his feet in the pool, and then the black mailman came by
Yes.
and said, "Wouldn't you like
was
to
a really
cool
big
off?"
deal,
and
yeah.
it
Yep.
was a big deal.
And they were really close friends from what I understood, that it was...
And so
that was such a big deal.
such a big deal, and you're like, really?
I know.
Oh, it's so tragic.
So recent
that
that was such a big deal.
And
Yes,
what
yes.
adds to the sadness of that is there are people that still today would see that and be like, I ain't gonna put my feet in no pool with you know just ignorance. Ignorance is everywhere.
And what was the other terror?
Exactly.
There was another part about
Or dumb.
the one of the people that played a character, and I didn't watch it that often as a child. I wasn't really a child, but I didn't realize they separated the fantasy world from his living room. That
Oh,
we
with the
went
train,
through-
yeah,
the
you had to
trolley,
go
when
on
the
the
trolley
you
went
had to
through
go on
the
the
thing.
train ride so that you knew like this is make believe, this
Right.
is real. Like,
and he would tell you we were going to the land of make believe.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it really, I thought that was very deep to me as as an elderly person, a person well past the expected life expectancy.
exactly.
Is that the
Yeah.
word we're using for you now?
Elderly,
Elderly?
yeah,
No.
sure. Why
And-
not?
Well, according to that Gould
Seems
guy,
a little dramatic.
Yeah,
Last weekend he
I mean,
was
if you
using
insist.
ambulatory. He was
yeah.
using that word.
Proudly, I'm proudly ambulatory and still mostly continent. Mostly.
Mostly.
So this one of the actors that played somebody in Fantasyland or whatever it was called was a gay man and was spotted in a gay bar, and it made like page 6, and he was like, and Mr. Rogers just said like, could you not, like, even though we don't have sponsors, we're on PBS, it just sends the wrong message. Like, let's not kind of muddy the waters.
Okay.
And he wasn't sure what to do, and then there was a whole episode where Mr. Rogers just said to him, as whatever character he played, like, I really like you. I like you just the way you are and everything that you do. And it was like, just don't go to the Leather Daddy bar on the
Yeah,
weekends.
right.
Don't get spotted
Right,
with a Crisco fist up your
Right.
ass.
Right.
Because that's not the land of make believe.
yeah. Nope, that's the land of cruising.
Leather Daddy. It's our word for
So
the day.
there was that. And then the last thing that I saw was an almost Oscar nominee from last year, Destroyer with Nicole Kidman. Have we talked about the last episode of Big Little Lies? We did, right?
Yeah.
We covered
yes,
that.
On the show, I
Yeah.
don't know, but
We did.
I've talked about it repeatedly in
Yeah.
the,
The brilliance of that court scene in Meryl Streep.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
anyways,
So-
Nicole
Right.
Kidman just keeps hitting it out of the park. Yeah, farting dust. That's me with the occasional surprise.
Wow.
Never trust a fart.
Never trust a fart. Yep, I'm too old. We don't know where this is going.
I don't like where
We're
it's
coming in hot.
Would you like to see a maggot video?
Yeah. So, anyways,
alert the affiliates. I'm busy next week.
I'm not around for an exceeded death expectancy. There you go, Nero. That's all I needed to say. That I've exceeded my death
If this
expectancy.
is where we're going, I'm out.
I'm out.
Right.
Yeah.
I got an
I'm
EDE,
good.
Has to go.
EDE on our hands. No.
So Nicole Kidman in Destroyer, a really,
Oh, damn it.
really, really, really interesting movie. She was an undercover police human 16, 17 years ago, went deep undercover to infiltrate this bank robbery gang, something bad. everything goes wrong, and you see her destroyed life like 16 years later, and like does the whole like makeup Nicole Kidman where she's like completely haggard and run down and clearly, and it's the usual heist movie that you've seen a million times, but this time the leader of the gang is a secondary character, and you see the story from the female cop that went undercover to infiltrate the gang and his main squeeze.
Okay.
So the person that would normally just be the drug, the drug addicted girl who went topless for a scene that you didn't understand why and had nothing to do. It's
Right.
Tatiana Maslany in like a great role.
Okay.
So you see the story that you've seen 100 times about the gang that gets you the Point Break, but this time from all female point of view.
Interesting.
Really,
All right.
really well done. It's called Destroyer, and it's just interesting to see that movie told, just turned slightly sideways, and
Okay.
way more interesting when, who cares who the leader of this gang is? He's incidental. It's the woman that's trying to bring them down and the woman that's trying to prop him up that make the story interesting.
So weird how women make stories more interesting.
Yes. And I love any time that they turn the story slightly, and it's not.
Yeah,
I don't
so
have to
good.
watch Tatiana Maslany play the girl. You know what I mean? I
Right.
can't. I need Orphan
Right.
Black.
Disposable fiance.
Right. I need her doing all the things. So I mean, there's a nope. They had no money to make this movie, so they couldn't afford stunt people.
Perfect.
So the fight scene between Nicole
All the
Kidman
better.
and Tatiana Maslany is a real knock 'em down, drag 'em out fight. We're like, are you both injured?
Right? How are you feeling?
How you feeling now? And they said that like at one point Nicole Kidman had the flu so bad they had to do the scene sitting down because she actually couldn't stand up. And they're like, yeah, it didn't take a lot of makeup to make her look bad that day. So called Destroyer. It's out on video. Stream it if you can find it. She got nominated for Golden Globe. She this close to an Oscar nomination last year, and I really don't understand why she was overlooked because it's a phenomenal movie. And then there's this whole thing on the interwebs about Deborah Messing and Megan Mullally being in some kind of a
I don't buy it.
feud. I don't really either, but I know that in the years ago during the first version of Will and Grace, Rosario had done something when Megan Mullally married Nick Offerman.
Mm-hmm.
There was something about leaking to the press the details of the wedding, and Rosario had like leaked some details inadvertently, and they
Didn't- I
didn't.
never heard
There was
that.
a little bit of a falling out briefly,
scuffle, if you will.
yeah, a kerfuffle.
A hullabaloo.
as it
Yeah,
were.
but then
Hullabaloo.
they became close again and became friends. So this, and they're both super liberal.
Right.
I can't, I'm kind of surprised by.
And I'd never heard of it until today. It popped up in the news feed about how I guess they unfollowed each other on something,
Which
and
that
there
makes
was
me laugh.
and there was something else that Megan had posted that maybe Deborah took issue with. I don't know.
Yeah,
And they were alleging that the reason that the show is not continuing on to another after this next season, the third season of the comeback, that they're canceling because of the feud between them.
Which makes no sense. I mean, if money's money,
Money's money.
Everybody's gonna show up.
And you know that they're making crazy syndication money.
Yeah,
Well, they've
Fandom
unfriended
was
each
just
other
really
on
good.
Instagram, so panic.
yeah.
Everyone panic. Because they've unfollowed each other on Instagram.
Well, they must mean it.
Yeah.
It's a bad one.
Also, in May, Megan posted something on Instagram featuring a lengthy post about people who, quote, use your success as ammunition against you. Further back still, another appeared stating, you can meet somebody tomorrow who has better intentions for you than someone you've known forever. Time means nothing. Character does. Deborah's Instagram, meanwhile, updated a
Had a-
post a few weeks ago
had a
urging
kitten
fans to
video.
vote for Will and Grace for the Emmys and failed to tag Megan Mullally. Thank you for all the gasping.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That was
So-
really appropriate.
It was lovely. All right.
I mean, it's
They're calling it the Great Instagram Unfollow of August 2019.
and who knows what it's about. But Deborah Messing is
That's
very.
so
If
dumb.
you're not following her on Twitter, like she's very, very vocal. And who-
Super,
maybe
yeah.
she stepped on someone's toes. Maybe maybe she inadvertently like.
She is super vocal.
Maybe
Yeah.
she just got annoying and Megan unfollowed her.
It could be.
We talked about this earlier.
You
I
don't-
like you're
liberally
shitty.
used that particular
Yeah.
feature.
Yeah, and it sometimes it's like, yeah, I've read enough of your posts. Maybe I'll take a
Had
little
it
break
with
for a
you,
little
dummy.
while. Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God, the snooze feature on Facebook is fantastic.
I don't bother
What?
to snooze. You're in or you're out.
I snooze them. I mean,
I don't-
depending
I
on,
don't-
She said.
If I decided you gotta go, you gotta go. I don't want you back.
There are some people I still need in my life at certain times.
You could stay in my life all you want. I don't have to see your posts. Unfollow.
Well, there's a couple people I have unfollowed because I was like, nope, that's a bridge too far,
The
sir.
beauty of unfollow is nobody ever knows.
That is lovely.
I just don't have to see your shit.
What is it? Somebody said that when memories come up and you can find out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of fun when people have blocked you.
I've not done that yet, where you go and you see who liked a post back in the day, and then now you can go through and see who's unfriended you or whatever. I've not done that, but
Well, when you look through the comments, you'll be responding to someone who's not there, and you're like, well, who am I saying? Like, oh, it was so nice to hear from you. You're like, well, clearly it wasn't. They're gone.
Right.
Or you try to, like, someone is still...
That's how I found out that Dion Brown had blocked me for a while.
Or you go to, like, you'll be like, oh, that was funny. Yeah.
Of all the
Of all the people I was
Because
blocked.
you
and then
goddamn
miraculously-
Angela Lansbury pusher.
And then all of a sudden I got a friend request after
fantastic.
mentioning it on this very show.
because
That's
I
my
text
new
him.
I know you did.
favorite. Oh, that's
That is too
fantastic.
funny.
The fuck's wrong with you, Brown?
Come on, Brown. She's legit.
What has
Follow
Brown
her
done
shit.
for you?
She's legit. God damn, that's funny.
What was I going to say about that?
Flush it down.
Turn it off.
Like a light switch. So you had something to add, perhaps, to...
What
Did
if
we
I
talk
watched
about Once Upon a
recently?
Time in Hollywood, too?
I haven't seen
No,
that.
I
I
had-
saw The Kitchen. We talked
Yeah,
about that
you
last
did
week,
last
I thought.
week.
Oh, The Kitchen. okay,
we did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So I'm waiting for someone to see it so we can talk about it, because it's so good.
I
know
but
that-
just watched.
no spoilers.
I just watched all of Divorce on HBO. It
How
was
was
very
that?
fun. I liked it.
I watched a couple episodes.
Yeah.
When it first started.
Oh, Fleabag. Is
No.
anybody watching Fleabag?
Oh my God, long since. And that boat has come and sailed. Say anything you like, I'm in. Bring it on.
Delightful. What's your favorite period film? Carrie. Think about it.
What just happened?
No, that's what got me.
Works two ways.
Yeah.
Oh.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and then
What?
so then I was
Nothing, I was
inspired.
reading something. So I
What's your
didn't- I
favorite
don't-
period movie? Carrie.
That's funny.
See, you got it.
I did get it. Okay.
No.
That's
God
funny.
damn pistachios.
So, and Nero had asked about the 90210 reboot.
Oh, yeah, I'm not interested.
I'm interested, but not brave enough to go there yet.
I was not interested at
So
all.
I'm
intrigued.
was not.
I was a big fan. Now let me.
Right. To preface it with that scene,
I
no,
watched
was
it
not.
all the way past the fucking college years. I watched
Okay.
this shit.
Wow. I mean,
I
that
was
meant
invested.
Gabriel What's-Her-Face was like 70.
She,
By the time she
she
got
was
to
on
college.
Social Security. Andrea
Yeah.
was on Social
Andrea,
Security.
yeah.
Andrea, thank you.
Using his walker.
Andrea Zuckerman.
Wearing a diaper.
So I have to be honest
Oh,
with
and
you.
she was Jewish, too?
Oh, yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah, but she was like.
Yeah,
the-
she was Jewish and 50,
she
playing
was,
a 14-year-old.
She was like the most liberal, feminist,
years
like,
old.
awesome.
Yeah, very much
She
so.
really was an amazing character, but
If I met her today, I would like her a lot, probably.
yeah.
And then unfollow her on Facebook because
but
I wouldn't be able to stand
not
the posts.
snooze, not snooze, but unfollow.
That doesn't mean we're not friends
yeah,
anymore.
no,
That
no,
means
I
that
hear
I
ya.
just don't have to
Yeah,
see
I
your
can't.
shit.
Yeah. So anyway, I enjoy it, and I was not a big fan of the show at the time.
Oh,
When it
Oh.
was,
Thought of something
when it was
else.
out, my best friend Lisa would constantly watch that, and then Melrose Place and
Sure.
whatever. Never got into it. It annoyed the shit out of me. Then flash forward, it's in syndication, and I sit down and just flipping through channels, and the first one.
You watch the whole thing.
Well, no. That's the fucking problem. So the first one comes on, season 1, episode 1. This is a delight.
Sweet.
Season
The Walshes
2,
moved to LA from Minnesota.
Right. Season and Minnesota
Fantastic.
caught me. So
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God, and
good.
they had that Jack and Jill bathroom that I thought was so cool.
Yep.
The Brady
And
Bunch had that, too.
Yeah, I know.
Season 1, episode 2, like it goes through. I get up to 4. This is so, like I'm into this. Okay, all right, I'm buying it.
Sold.
And then all of a sudden it was something happened at the end, like it was the cliffhanger kind of thing.
Gasp.
And then the next one that they showed was like Dylan's car blowing up and his
Oh my
dad
God, what
dying
a
or
crazy
something. And
episode, too.
I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Oh, you
Like,
just
what-
jumped forward like 7 seasons,
yeah,
though.
like all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know what just happened. So then I got pissed. Now it's back. It's in this reboot
I
thing,
feel
and
like,
I feel
did you
like I can.
take a couple hits of mushrooms before you? Why are you watching it all out of order?
I
CBD
wasn't.
oil.
It was the way that it, like the next show that came on,
Oh.
they were doing it out of order. So anyway,
Because it used to be when they did reruns, they would do them like kind of layered, like so they would start at episode 1, whatever, and then in the third hour, all of a sudden they'd be on episode 17
Yeah.
because they were in a different rotation.
Oh.
Terrifying.
They used
Like,
to do
you
that with
can't-
Grey's Anatomy, and it would fuck me all up.
Right. So anyway,
That's one of the shows I
Clayton's
blame for
bored.
like butt chugging and all that stuff because they always had very special episodes about Judy had a rum and coke at the prom. We gotta get her
Nothing
to
beats Saved by the
rehab."
Bell and the Caffeine
Sure.
episode, though.
Nothing
beats that.
I'm so excited.
So excited. I'm so excited.
Perrin pills.
I'm so scared.
Peerin
it's
tablets.
good. I think it's
They
good.
were Peerin tablets.
And I only thought of this because I equate the two shows the same, though I realize they're vastly different. There's 9021 Uh-Oh, and then there was Melrose Place. Heather Locklear was
Yeah.
just committed to
Yeah.
a insane asylum for being crazy as batshit.
Yep. And let's go ahead and connect the more dots. 6 Degrees of Separation. Married to Tommy Lee.
Exactly. Bingo.
Yeah.
Keep going.
She
Keep going.
was what's his face's secret weapon though. She was on T.J. Hooker, Dynasty.
That's right.
What the hell was his name? Aaron
Aaron
Spelling.
Spelling. Sure.
Melrose Place was floundering, and they brought her in as Allison's boss.
Yep, that's
and
right.
even I was like, all right, this show just got way more interesting. Heather Locklear's here. Like,
Whoa.
yeah, put on a new
Hey,
pair of
yeah.
earrings.
One of my favorite
Let me get a gin punch.
One of my favorite promotions of that show is when she joined the cast because it was on Monday nights.
Yep.
And in IBT's down in Tucson, I went down there for whatever reason, and they had because they used to show it on Monday nights at the bar, and they had a huge poster up on the wall. It's just her, and it says Mondays are a bitch, and it was
wow.
just
I like
her.
that.
remember
Right.
that.
Melrose
Right.
Place.
Yep.
Okay, and Jenny says the first orgasm after surgery is scary. Jenny, are you on 2 different chat rooms?
Wait, what's happening?
90210. Oh, yeah.
Have you switched typewriters or gone
Do
between?
you poop out at
screens?
parties?
Do you poop out at parties? I mean, it seems like I just get done with one magazine and another one.
As if by clockwork, it goes up
I'm
one.
not
Oh
sure
my
what's
God.
happening.
All right. It's 9:30.
We watched Girls Will Be Girls last week. Because that was like, oh, I can show you something about trans people working as actors. Let's watch Girls Will Be Girls. Oh, shit my pants laughing. And then Eric Stone Street comes back as the rapey doctor. Still raped here. If you haven't seen Girls Will Be Girls,
I haven't.
No idea
nonsense.
what you're talking
Probably
about.
one of the
That's great.
funniest movies I've ever. There's Busy Gal for Dinners on the Go should not be consumed by humans or animals. It's just a collection of radioactive things that taste like heat in your mouth. That's your big
I have no
commercial.
idea.
Oh,
Are we ready?
Girls Will Be Girls. I'll find the.
Are we ready for the wheel?
2003.
Right.
Wheel?
Yeah, I know.
Are we going
I
wheel?
sent it to you.
I know. I've got it. I'm ready.
All you
I
gotta do is
I
spin
didn't-
the thing.
I didn't know if we were ready for the.
Spin the motherfucking
ready.
thing.
What else are we gonna do?
Well, I just like to know since
I'm
I apparently
mouthy.
have no control over the show. I just thought I'd
That's
ask.
just
We
got
need a producer.
mouthy.
No, we don't. I don't know how it's going to turn out. All right, let's see what happens. Here we go. Spin the wheel. What's the first thing? How much would Greenland go for?
Honestly, like, how much does something like that go for? I spend a lot of time shopping the classifieds. I'm looking for different equipment. I'm just thinking
Buildings
to
now.
myself.
What if you just kept the T-shirt business and the bus in Greenland? You know what I mean?
No.
Right, I'm just thinking how much. How
Wait,
much
if
would Greenland
Mesa's
go
too
for?
far,
Yeah, if a 20-mile drive to Mesa is too far, Greenland is
about
out of
20
the
miles to
fucking
Mesa.
I'll
question.
just
20
tell you,
minutes.
I'm much more likely to go to
Greenland.
Greenland than Mesa.
That's fair.
I'm not going to disagree with
Nobody
that.
wants to go
Because
to Mesa.
currently the bus is 27 miles from me right now, over there
Yeah.
in North
But we're
Sun
heading in
City.
the right direction,
Pretty
maybe.
far.
If we, I don't know. Yeah, give
I'm
or
just
take.
wondering. What are we talking? Like
I'd say
million?
$37,000.
$37,000?
They said they
How
weren't
much
for
was
sale.
Russia? Let's go on that.
Right.
We're
Real
not
estate
done.
over
How much
150
was
years.
Louisiana?
We're not done paying for that one.
Louisiana was a bargain at like $2 or $3 million, if I remember
The
correctly.
Louisiana
Wait, I'm
purchase?
looking it up right now.
I want to say it was $4 million.
A while ago.
$15 million.
Oh my God.
We got Louisiana and all that other flyover shit
Yeah.
for $15 million. So I
And
feel
how
like,
much we pay for? I feel like Alaska was like $46 million.
dear Google, how
I'm with
much
Jenny. How much can we get for
was
Florida?
Alaska?
We could trade.
No.
Oh, half of that. We paid $7.2 million for Alaska.
Ooh, cheap at
So I'm
twice the
thinking,
price.
I'm thinking like $10 million, maybe Greenland.
I mean, it's like 1840s. You got a couple years.
Adjusted for inflation, carry the one.
Yeah.
Then there's metric. I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
got
we're
3 racist presidents.
we're haggling here. We're haggling.
A war later.
We start at 10. They start at 30. We meet in the middle
Do
at
they have any
18.5.
fossil fuels?
Two
that we can
turtle
rape?
doves.
Yeah.
Where is Greenland? I need Meowcal. I need to put that on a map. Is there Greenland and
It's
then
like
further
East Canada.
It is further East
East
Canada.
Canada.
Western England.
Okay.
Or Super West Denmark.
Super West Denmark.
Did the
Super
Titanic
West
people
Denmark.
wave at Greenland as they
Right.
went
They
by?
said, "Oh no, not here, not here."
Do not
No, but
dock
the
here.
come from away people flew right over it.
Yeah,
Oh,
right
yeah.
over it.
Oh,
That's
all
right. They did.
Yeah.
Flew right over it.
Yeah.
I have
You
too.
don't want any of that
I've gone
shit.
out because you take that route over to save time.
You're very fancy. I've never gone that far.
Very
I don't leave the country. It's true.
I don't know what we're saving.
I don't think I could convincingly tell people I was Canadian, so I don't leave the country.
Yeah.
All right.
What's next?
We're gonna spin the wheel again.
Spin her again.
Oh my God, girls would be girls the jizz party.
Oh boy.
nope, nope.
Okay.
Oh wait, we're gonna spin again. Got back to the
Same.
Greenland. Okay, come on.
Maybe
Well,
next
we're
time. Just
very
pick one.
intrigued with Greenland.
Oh, it's gonna be something different.
Bridal Crocs? Nope.
No.
So this is timely. Sent to be my Marnie Ryer. So as it turns out, my sister's getting married next May,
Oh.
which
good.
is
Nope.
okay.
Yep.
I mean, better her than me.
Not your life.
Wow,
It's not your life.
that's a
She doesn't listen.
Ringing endorsement. No, no,
She doesn't
I
listen.
like Steve a lot. In fact, if push came to shove, I might keep Steve and just push her off the Titanic.
Oh
It's
wow.
fine.
All right.
I'll never let go, Steve. Whoops, sorry.
Oh,
My
yeah.
sister and I are close. He met all of our family this summer.
in the pasture.
Yeah.
In the pasture, correct. We were all there
saw
on
the
that side of
sign.
the family, and I think he's met the rest of them on the other side too now. And there's like a big giant like Facebook Messenger chat with that side of the family, and they were kind of picking on my sister, and I was like, "Don't fuck with Steve, he's with me." Listen, people.
Step back.
Yeah, because that family's like big on the pecking order, and I know where I sit on that particular family tree. So I'm
Right.
like, "Don't fuck with me." Steve's legit. He's with me.
I like it. Her.
I have a lot of push there, but turns out Marnie helpfully explained to me that the fine people at Crocs
This is such a thing Al would say.
have introduced a bridal line, and I'm delighted. I cannot wait to send this to my sister.
For real.
I'm gonna send it to my mother too,
Oh.
in a
I
group
think
chat.
that, I think
Is
that
it
you
delivered
Yeah.
by a Subaru?
Well, no, but
I might actually just buy them and send them.
You should. I think that if there is
Just show up to Thanksgiving and be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I got you something for your
Look at
wedding.
what and
Here's
get,
your
like-
fucking
yeah,
bridal
yeah.
Crocs."
Oh, you gotta make them blue, so they're new and blue, and then you can't turn
Oh,
them
there you
down.
go. Something new.
Amazing.
I
Rumor
love
has
it.
it she's gonna get married and then just have the reception, which is perfect for me.
I love that.
I'm into
Yep,
this.
Yep.
No attendance.
No.
None of that bullshit
No,
ceremony because
no.
we're not religious. Like we don't give
Yeah.
a fuck about that. So we don't have to
Sure.
have a church.
Right.
We don't care about the ceremony.
Fair.
Right. The fact that I refuse to wear a dress is kind of awkward for her. So
Fair. Right.
All right.
Right.
Shut
Okay.
the goddamn
What else?
door.
Aren't they?
did you
awful?
look them up?
Uh-huh.
Aren't
Yeah.
they beautiful?
So
We're all on that page.
it
So
looks
I-
like somebody sprinkled some like Elmer's glue and then
it
just
looks like a
sprinkled some
unicorn shit all over 'em.
and then
What are you
sprinkled
kidding
some
me?
sequins on them.
Yeah.
The woman's croc Lena hammered metallic wedge. That's
Lena
lovely.
Hammered.
Mazik. Well, and then it goes in and like details some other hideous abominations to nature.
Yeah.
Horrible.
But
Crocs,
the
come
light-
as you are. No, don't come like
No,
that.
no.
Get those off, just
No,
in case
no.
you die.
Yeah.
I'm already very upset because I was going to change my shoes and put on like proper sneakers and socks like somebody should when they
course.
leave the house.
Yeah.
And I apparently can't remember anything from like 1 minute to the next. I'm becoming
Damn it.
Dory.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Fair.
Because I went back into my house. I tried to leave to come here and I went back into my house. Not one, not two, but
Hi,
4
Kevin.
times for different things.
Uh-huh.
And still forgot to change my shoes. So I'm still wearing
Okay.
flip flops and I'm very upset about it. But the Crocs shoes should just stay home. But I'm.
It should.
Yeah.
No one,
And quite
no one
frankly-
in any situation should be that comfortable.
But that's what. So.
Is
So
that
that's-
what
The
comfort looks
problem
like?
is they're not that
No,
comfortable.
they're not.
They're awful.
They're awful.
No
And
one
they-
should look that comfortable. How about
They
that?
don't look
I-
comfortable. I don't think they look comfortable.
We
They
talk-
make me uncomfortable looking
And
at
Ant's
them.
all like, about, they aren't that bad.
And they want
Oh,
$100 for them. What the fuck?
Yeah.
100?
Okay, in a
no.
garden-
No, wait,
Maybe-
it's British. So how much is 94 pounds?
Like
I don't fucking know.
$200.
Fuck
See?
you.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, Al. This is why it totally made me think of you. And,
Oh.
no, an
Twist.
oxymoron is a phrase that directly
Twist.
contradicts itself. There are
Right.
many examples
Jumbo
in
shrimp.
our
That's
language.
115
Jumbo shrimp.
American.
Fancy Crocs.
Deafening silence.
Fancy Crocs.
Makes no sense when you think about it. I'm a fan of small crowd because it just seems impossible. But now there's a new oxymoron to add to that list: formal Crocs. And I
Yep.
read that whole thing and I thought that's LT perfect.
I am
right
not
there.
comfortable with this topic either.
Yeah.
There's a
Isn't that
lot.
funny,
This
though?
whole show's involved a lot of topics.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I was so horrified by a Nance link that I just put the link up too. As I was screaming inside my head, I think I just reposted that same link.
Wait, now I have to go
It's
look at the link.
fantastic. What is the link?
It's the specific bridal Crocs, like
Yeah, the-
specifically
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah.
shower sandals you should wear to your wedding. But remember that scene, just maybe
From
to help
awkward?
you out.
Is it from the awkward?
No, from Crazy Rich Asians. Remember they got married in the church and they the water came
With
down
all the
the
reeds
aisle
and the water. It
in the
was
water.
beautiful.
Okay,
yes.
maybe a pair of shower sandals in that situation.
I'm getting good at
I-
this stuff.
I
Just
mean,
so you don't get athlete's foot
Barefoot.
at a
I
wedding.
would say barefoot at that
I
situation.
would too, but then there's the worry about a little scaly skin. You know what I mean? You don't know everybody.
Wash your fucking feet when you get back to the room.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Take a goddamn shower once in a
Okay.
while.
All right.
And hi, Kevin from Michigan.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna spin the wheel again.
Too
Yeah.
much.
Here we
Now
go.
I have to debate whether I want to spend that much money on a joke gift. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, that's a lot.
I think that you
feels
can
like a
just
lot.
get a shitty pair and
Like,
I think this
bedazzle
fucking
them myself.
this wheel is.
Defective. I don't know who built it.
Your mom.
Do I need an Apple credit card?
oh.
Do I?
That's
I don't know.
That's the. I don't know. Why would you need one?
Why would
I don't
you
know
need
because a lot of
one?
people seem to have them now,
I've never
according to
heard
my
of 'em.
Facebook
Are
feed.
you trendy?
So
not-
Apple put out a credit card and
No.
people can get it, and apparently it's all secure and it has no numbers and it's got your no name on it. And it's,
Oh, I see what
all
they've
kinds of-
done.
And
All right.
does it get you points towards Apple products
I don't-
eventually?
I
the
don't
more
know.
you spend?
I don't know. I've done zero research. I
I
saw
think
two
no.
people on my Facebook feed had one, and I immediately thought, do I need
this?
one?
Yeah. Okay.
Because I mean,
I think
I
no.
love my my airline card.
Right, I do too. I'm
I'm a
about
big-
to fly
I'm
like
a big
twice
fan.
on Southwest for free because I spend a fuck ton of money on other shit.
Yeah, and that's my whole trip this summer was free in hotel points
Yeah.
and airline miles.
Just Amazon. All
the
you
only
need is
thing I
Amazon.
paid for was
And now I'm that
gas for
person when we're
someone's
making
car.
a reservation or we're making
Yeah.
a group purchase. Oh, I got it. You can just pay me back.
Oh, yeah,
you know
me
why?
too.
Fucking points.
That's what the rent thing did. That's
Yeah.
how because I was like, no, I'll buy those rent tickets.
Right.
I'll buy that shit.
Sure.
Yeah.
I want the points.
I fronted the money for 2 family vacations this summer because I got all those fucking points, and now I get to fly for free for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, it works out. It works out really, and I'm surprised at how as expensive as flight is. What they're giving
The
away those
conversion?
flights for
Yeah.
is like, well, that's not a lot of points.
Right.
So crazy. I mean, if you can make some money off those and the interest rates aren't too high, just check.
Oh,
check
interest rates are
your
awful.
interest
Yeah, I know.
rates because there was a car. I got an offer a
Mine
couple
are
years ago,
terrible.
very very special offer that it turns out it expired and I didn't realize I
Oh.
had.
And then
They
all of a sudden
won't
you're
let you
paying
just pay-
38% interest.
They won't let
Yeah.
you pay off just that little part that's still left on the things you combined. I had let that window pass and didn't realize it. I was like, well, can I just pay off that part of it?
Nope.
And they were like, no, we spread it evenly amongst the cards with this interest rate, the purchase with this interest rate, this non-special interest rate, and then that fucker where you combine some stuff. And I got one credit card bill with a $200 interest rate or interest charge, $200. I'm like, oh, we're changing. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah. That
I
feels
called
like a
them. I'm
lot.
like, any negotiation gonna happen here? They're like, no, you signed the thing. I'm like, good day, sir. Like,
Yeah.
I said good day.
transfer that fucking
I'm
balance.
sure someone will give me a
Discover
credit
will
card.
take it.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
You transfer it
Well,
over to
get out
Discover
of
for
my mailbox,
0%.
yeah.
Right.
All right, spin again.
Been there, done that. We didn't solve my problem, but I'll
Oh, I didn't know.
continue.
What? No, don't.
Chuck Woolery is a racist bigot.
Ah.
That was my.
This one's from Clayton McKee.
That one I threw
You
in
have
there.
the floor, sir.
Well, here's my now. Growing up, I looked to all of the different hosts of game shows, news, different things, and I always looked up to Chuck Woolery. I thought he was fantastic. He was funny. He was smooth as silk.
He's no Alex Trebek.
He was all. He was a great host
story.
of different shows.
Yep.
So then, because we have the interwebs and people can comment and do stuff, and information comes in at a mile a minute, you start to learn about different people. And now he's cutting commercials for different things and whatnot. I find out that he's got some sort of a daily 2 or 3 minute video thing he does. Somebody else suggested that, but today I was scrolling through Twitter and longtime listener, first time caller, Leslie Baldwin and I are connected on the Facebooks.
Right.
And oddly, I also know about the Chuck Woolery. So he posts this. For those of you that are just listening, I will read it for you. Chuck Woolery posts a tweet that says, in all caps, racism has nothing to do with race. Racism is a progressive left crying out for attention. If you disagree with the progressive left, they consider you a racist. They are desperate to hold on to the black vote. And Leslie just simply responded, "You're a fucking idiot."
Yep.
That's funny.
But-
Good
I
for
like
her.
Trump Messiah syndrome.
But what's
That's
interesting?
a disease. Yeah,
It's just
well done.
interesting to me that somebody who came across the TV screen as so wonderful and jovial and liked everybody and did all that stuff is just another fucking idiot. A homophobic, racist.
He's the Scott Baio of dating shows.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never would have thought that. And I was just.
Damn it, Charles.
I've known of this for a while about him, but when I saw that, it just reminded me today of
Yeah.
that. I was like, holy shit, you are just really a piece of shit.
Well, and I can't figure out how.
You are no Alex Trebek, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir. Sit down.
Sit down. Let's
Yeah,
see.
racism is not about race. It's about isms. I don't believe in isms.
One more. What do we got? Actually, we're going to go back to the one right before that, which was Warren time, because that's one that Kat had sent to me. So we're going to do that.
Or twins. It says Warren twins.
Warren twins. I'm sorry. Warren twins.
Turns out, our friend, future president Elizabeth Warren,
Friend of the pod.
friend of the pod. I know I've been listening to them too much lately.
Me too.
Has a twin.
Me too. Now they're on the YouTubes, so I can actually see my voice crush.
Found her in Iowa.
Okay.
Whoops.
That's right. Stephanie Oyen.
Oyen.
Oyen, clad in her Warren Halloween costume, said she had her own following at the White House hopefuls campaign event. She said, "I thought it would get some giggles. Then people started yelling, 'Senator Warren, Senator Warren.' People were clapping or running to me to take photos. Turns out some lady had a great costume. Looked just like her. There's a photo. Clayton will show you.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh wow, yeah, a little
That
younger
is
and fresher.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freaky. It's freaking me out. I don't know
It
which
is.
is which.
I actually think Jason Covert's mom looks just like Elizabeth Warren.
I just
That might
wonder
be true, too.
if the woman in the
It's awesome. I love seeing that kind of
That's
stuff.
what if the
Showed
woman
up-
in the dark blue shirt has got a plan for everything like Elizabeth has.
When Deion Brown
got a plan
changes his
for that?
glasses to those, he won't just be the elf that wants to be a dentist anymore.
He needs to grow his hair out a little bit, but yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
Show me the lie.
I like it.
I mean, both of those
like
women
it.
wanted
Don't
to be a
see it.
dentist.
I don't see it. Well, apparently there was quite the kerfuffle at a campaign
I
event.
can believe
Oh,
it.
my.
Sure.
This lady showed up.
This
Said-
bitch.
It's good stuff.
If you get elected and you
Hashtag.
want to reenact the movie Dave,
Good call.
I'm your bitch.
I'm your
I'm
girl.
there.
Or if you need an anger interpreter, what was?
Oh,
What was
Oba-
key?
Right.
Obama's
Oh, God, that's
angry
right.
black man
Yeah.
interpreter or something
Oh
like
my
that.
god, that was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun
and
too.
it's very exciting as I changed my vote a couple weeks ago. I think we talked about it from Elizabeth Warren is much more powerful in the Senate. I changed to being like, yeah, I think she should be president because I
Very
just
nice. Mm-hmm.
like her every single time she speaks.
I agree.
I have no use for Biden and less use for Sanders. Colonel or otherwise.
Rarely do I agree with Barbara Seville, but that never Bernie business. I think she's on to
She's
something.
on to something. Well, Bernie's plummeting, and Warren just keeps rising in the poll. And she's rising on that poll.
Yeah.
You got to get your
Settle
exercise
down.
somehow.
Well,
And
that'll be
Settle
other
down.
votes. That's
20
for
bucks
other
is
votes.
20 bucks.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm
That's
saying?
right. Yeah.
It's 70. She can still get on the poll. But she's rising the polls, and it's very exciting. I find her very exciting to watch, to listen
Yep.
to.
Yep.
I'm intrigued.
She's
I like
one
her
of the
plans.
only people that doesn't sound like she's full of shit.
And I like when she says, "Why would I run to president for something to say I can't do something? Like,
Right.
let's strive for it. Like, all right, I like
Let's
it.
do it. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I
Can
mean?
do attitude.
Every time I watch things about astronauts from the 60s, I'm like, now we argue that the Earth is flat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why? We've
And
been
we're
to the
not
moon.
the only
Let's
ones who've
build
gone
on
up
that.
in
Let's not go
space.
backwards. Right, yeah.
Like other countries have gone up in space.
There was a dog. There was a
The
monkey.
monkey.
There's a monkey.
There was a Russian.
There was a Russian.
Cos-
Those were a
Cosmonauts.
couple of those are the same things.
Settle down.
What?
I
Settle
think
down.
she means cosmonauts and Russians, but boy, that was tricky.
Thanks.
Tough game.
Thanks.
There's that.
Tough crowd. Tough crowd.
Easy
I don't-
with the Russian haters there.
Do we need a thoughtful?
I can hate a Russian.
I have a
we
thought.
saved
You
one
do?
from last week.
we
Yeah,
say it's a leftover.
Well, I just want to
we
make sure
ditched
before.
it from last week.
Yeah,
Oh.
and
He is
Buttigieg, he's just Buttigieg,
Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
Buttigieg, sure.
Boot edge edge. Boot edge edge.
A pinch.
He doesn't
A
care.
pinch too young. I will say that. Like, but I enjoy him very much. I think he's got a big career ahead of him.
But
He's
how about-
36
but
fucking years old or something. silly.
Could we live with a Warren Buttigieg ticket?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, I think
All
that.
right.
I mean, come on, 7 languages, a veteran.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a pianist, for God's sake. Is he a flautist? I don't know.
It's like toast.
All right, let's do this
The
and see what
fucking
happens.
toast family over there.
If not,
I don't know. Got no kind of witty place.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
Well, I don't think it's controversial or anything like that. But and let me
still
find out what it is
nervous.
because I already forgot. So like that whole like the clothes make the man thing, like the whole like dressing for the
Not
job you
doing so
want to
good
have
today.
kind of stuff. Is there something that you wear or something that when you put it on you feel differently or you act differently?
a corset.
You're wearing a lot of corsets these days, aren't you, Mark?
Wow. Like to be in there in the morning to see how that go on.
You don't know.
Are you
I have-
wearing one now?
God no.
I
It's
have,
very Gone with the Wind. There's Marnie just hanging onto the bedpost.
I
and
like
Ernie
that I
just-
corseted myself, but I did it when I was skinny. So why the fuck bother? Like what a waste of strings
That's a
and
waste of time.
manpower.
Yeah. Yeah.
So aside from the corset, like, is there something that
No.
like a different? I mean, you've changed your shirt twice.
Well,
Is
that's
there
only
some?
because I didn't want to, I realized how much of me was there.
I don't think I noticed what you were wearing at the beginning. I got to rewind.
Yeah, well, no, it's fine. You're good.
It was the dog shirt with the
Cyberbully.
cyberbully
It
with
was
the
a
dog.
bit-
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't look at your bosom. Sorry.
Twin Peaks. Another
less
TV
about
show.
the bosoms and more about it was just a lot of arms.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. Nero posture gets better when
Puts on a
she
tie.
puts on a tie.
Right?
Yep. Tap
Okay.
shoes. Fun. Yeah. There you go.
I love
Sure.
that. Yeah, I mean, getting dressed up and whatnot, I can see that. I've always disagreed with the idea that you have to wear something to present yourself differently. When I was with the Division of Developmental Disabilities, we had to go into homes for meetings. And they always said we had to dress up, like we had dress up, right? You
Business casual.
can't wear jeans,
Yeah.
can't wear like even a nice button-down shirt, nice jeans, that kind of thing. Can't do that. You had to wear. Most women wore dresses. That's not gonna happen.
Right.
And so having to go out for a job that paid you shit, and
Spend that much money on
spend that
clothes.
much money on
Right.
clothes.
Ross cross dress for
And
less.
and either having to press them or having to get them
Oh
dry
yeah.
Dry
cleaned,
clean.
Right.
whatever.
Right.
Right.
And it never made it. It didn't make a difference when we walked into someone's home, except to make them feel
Inferior.
inferior. Because when we would walk
I
into
wouldn't
some
think-
of
okay.
the homes, they're getting services. We're the ones giving them the services, and so we are the ones that have to. We're in charge, and then you come in like a power suit kind of thing or whatnot.
Because I look better, I dress better, I'm better than you.
I'm better than you.
But I
Right.
mean, slacks and a nice
yeah,
and a
but
blouse.
for some of them have dirt floors.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but at the
I mean,
same
and
time,
it's not all the time,
yeah,
but it really
yeah.
is something that I was very much opposed to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always had on like really nice pair of jeans, and like a button-down shirt, always presentable. Shoes match the belt. Whatever is happening, go.
You're
out.
not an animal.
I'm not. Thank you. But going out
This
and
just
sitting,
in, Marnie is not an animal.
Alert the affiliates.
an animal.
Yeah, alert the
Nor a
affiliate.
cosmonaut.
Oh, nor monkey?
But I
Apparently,
love
those two are interchangeable.
I love
My
the
bad.
idea of being able to go out because everybody felt comfortable when I got there. because you want to make people feel comfortable, not lesser than, or not like this whole we're in charge thing and we're being good to you and giving you these services. It's awful. That's why I love the idea of in a restaurant or in a hospital or in something like that, the idea of uniform kind of stuff. I really think it's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, but then there are those that are like wearing like, what are those shoes? Like, there's poop everywhere. What are you doing?
Sure. I can see that.
And then the white coat syndrome is very real. Like if somebody comes in with a white coat, they get a little bit more pompous, but a lot of the times it just makes the patient scared to death.
Of course.
They see a white coat and they just get frightened of like, okay, what's going to happen? What's the white coat about?
Right.
Where the scrubs coming in is more relaxed.
And that's what I would see as the jeans and the nice button-down shirt or the whatever it is, the blouse or whatever, because the white coat is the walking in.
Oh, I can rate it somewhere.
The white coat is when you come walking in the dress clothes. So that I can see certain things when you go for interviews or you go for this or that maybe, but otherwise I try to present myself the same I think all the time, like an asshole. So it's good.
Doing a great job.
Thanks.
Asshole.
I'm raising the bar. I'm raising the bar as high as I can. So the end.
Very nice.
Great job.
Thanks.
Katricia?
What?
That made my day.
Fuck.
That made my day. Not just me.
Do you know I lie to people when they try and figure out what my name is short for? I tell them I have hippie parents and my name is Just Cat, so they'll shut the fuck up and leave me alone. Because no, I'm not giving you my government name.
Right. Also, mine is Marnie, not Margaret. So fucking shut up.
Tell them it used to be with a band called The Waves.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it's still not Katrina, but
Still, no,
But Katricia and the Waves, not as popular. Half a hit.
they played them all a lot.
They next to Tiffany. Good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
They opened
Tiffany
for
adjacent.
Tiffany.
Yeah, exactly. They were in the big
Tiffany.
fountain by the Sears. They were down the way by the Chess King.
And Montgomery Ward.
Monkey
Right,
Ward.
right next to Hot Dog on a Stick.
Yeah, they were playing the lesser food court with the shitty pizza.
I love it.
What was the question? Please repeat.
Like, is there something that you ever is there anything that you ever like put on or wear that just makes you act a little differently or feel a little differently? Like
Halloween costumes.
yeah, no, I mean,
I mean,
they're
for-
all
I hate
acceptable.
dressing
I
up for
hate Halloween.
Hate Halloween.
That's why my post today about that fucking Halloween store
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
out too early.
No.
Just like
I
pumpkin
agree.
spice, motherfuckers.
It's 65 days away. You gotta start sewing now if you want that costume to look good.
No, you know, for a hot minute, I did drag over at the Cache. Boy drag, obviously. And it wasn't much of a stretch. Again, obviously.
You just didn't shave that day?
Right. Shave today, smooth as
for
smooth as
you.
can be.
Look at that.
Baby's butt.
The gauntlet was thrown. I had to too.
And I'm not kidding about one of those things.
You choose.
Yeah, you decide.
Go ahead and feel my chin and
Dealer's-
find out which one.
Dealer's choice.
Feeler's choice.
Oh.
if
And
you
there's
will.
an interesting thing that kind of happens, and there's some power in that male perception. You know what I mean? Which I've kind of always enjoyed, and probably kind of shaped my overall outward demeanor. There was a brief period where I was like, what is this trans thing and what is it all about? And then I was like, no, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a
Listen,
lot.
people.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm cool.
You're oppressed enough as a person. Don't
Yeah.
don't add to it.
Right, but no,
Don't become
but-
Madonna.
right.
God, I want a third struggle.
Yeah.
What do you want this morning? A third struggle.
Dear God,
Can I be a Jew
I
or
still
black?
got more shoulder.
I need more struggle. But no, I very, very seriously looked into, and when I discovered that trans was a thing, very seriously looked into it, and I was like, wait, is that my thing? And then decided no. But it turns out a lot of my very close friends at that time decided yes.
There was a huge surge.
There was a big
in-
surge of
Oh.
FTM transgender
Yeah.
transitions, and a lot of them in my social circle at the time. And I have always wondered, and it's kind of touchy to talk about, but I've always wondered how much of that is based on society perceptions and the fact that you feel more powerful presenting as a man. You know what I mean? Like as a woman, when you are perceived as a man, you know what I mean? Even when somebody just mistakes me in the grocery store, there's a very slight but distinct difference in the tone of their voice when they go, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir." Oh, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
you're right,
there's a very distinct difference.
Like I'm going to expect less information from you.
Right.
Or less. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I get that.
And I mean, granted, now they're embarrassed and they don't know what to do
Yeah,
because they thought
yeah.
I was a dude and I'm clearly not. Or maybe not as clearly some days. Depends on the day.
Depends on shape.
The hats. I mean, there's so many different variables that go into that.
Am I riding my bike in my pajamas at 12:30 past a gay bar? Who knows what that is?
Oh, no.
What's happening?
Or you crash up derbing a van. Like, there's so many different things you could do.
Speak up, speech pathologist. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, so I was I think the point that I was making was that every time that I've either presented as or been mistaken for a man has always felt more powerful. I don't know that it's always like intentional that way. Like I now just feel more comfortable in men's clothes because I've done it for so long, and it's just kind of the way it is. But I don't know that I do it intentionally. But I know that the feeling is different.
Do you also find, and because I've seen all of it over the years, and I think you'd probably understand this as well. More often than not, it seems like women's clothes are just a whole lot more trouble.
They're very complicated.
my
So
I don't
God.
understand.
so
The
is it all?
pockets-
It's also a convenience thing, I would guess too, because you I mean you realize just shirt and jeans, that's fucking easy.
Yeah.
Or did
agree.
that not factor in at all to you?
No, I've just never felt super comfortable in women's clothes. Like, doesn't matter what. You know what I mean? It could just be a t-shirt and jeans, but it absolutely matters the cut and
right.
where they come from.
Good.
The cut of her jib. How's that
Right.
expression go?
Ooh, my
No.
jib.
Stop looking at my jib, mister.
I don't even know where to look to find a jib.
We're not that kind of friends. Anand, I do own a suit. It doesn't fit anymore, and it was an ill-advised purchase because I look like kind of a 1930s gangster because it's got pinstripes.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
You went
Yes.
zoot suit.
I 100% went
yeah.
zoot suit, and it looked fantastic when it fits, but also a little bit zoot suit. And it no longer fits, and I was just looking at it in the closet the other day going, I really need to just send this to Goodwill
Well,
because it is dead.
And what an interesting point that Nero makes as far as because of height, that now that you would have had that struggle as well because of being so much shorter.
Yeah. And I've joked about it
and-
before that I looked at it and was like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
That feels like a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and
Exactly.
it
I
is.
can't
to
even
not-
But
imagine
it's
it not
also
being.
not my you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
also not
It's not lurking there
correct
underneath.
for me, right.
Right. There are, yes. I mean, I think if someone's going to transition, it's certainly not a fucking trendy thing to do.
Oh,
And if it is,
and I never think about,
Jesus.
especially since I don't do drag that much anymore. But the buttons have to go the right way in a shirt and jacket.
That's
I
right.
just can't wear women's clothes because the buttons are on the other side.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I
and it
remember
throws you all off.
the first time, first time
Wow.
I met my speech pathologist and you didn't hit her with your car. I honestly didn't know how to button it. I was like, what?
Sure.
What kind of sorcery
And what's funny is I look
this?
a lot better and get a lot of compliments in a women's dress shirt, like just a
Oh, sure.
you know what I mean?
The way it fits
a
and-
women's cut button down looks great.
I've never
just
understood
don't buy
like that whole like it has those things
Darts?
here,
The darts?
and whatever. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Now, why do you gotta go and ruin shit?
Oh, see,
but
and
it
that
makes everything look better.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's annoying as fuck, but it makes everything look better. It pisses me off.
Yeah, that works for me because then it cinches the shirt in right here where it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Yep. But it's
I
just
saw Silence of
weird.
Lambs. I mean, I understand how women's clothing is made.
No, but
Fine
Not
leather.
from actual women.
Fine leather.
Wow.
Not from actual women, Al. Just we need to revisit your education there.
My haberdashery.
she's a real big fat girl.
Real big fat person.
Roomy.
Does Project Runway throw you off? Is that really what happened?
So none of the women are kept
Is it a hat? Is it a pterodactyl? I don't know what it is. Is it a dress?
Yeah. it's very
For me, obviously, I gave up many, many years ago because I have worn what I call my standard issue uniform every day. Somebody actually noticed the other day that the V-necks that I wear during the day to go work at the bar are a higher V-neck, and the ones that for casual or for night are the lower.
Oh.
Which I'm about ready to order more, so we have
good.
to make sure which ones you're ordering.
Sure.
But for me, and it has always been this way. there's two things that I put on that are different. A good fitting pair of dress shoes. Just you walk differently.
Yep.
You just walk better. In fact, I bought new work boots last weekend because
Trying to out Butch Cat.
no, because I found
I
myself
mean, you weren't gonna win.
wearing you
Wearing
were gonna win.
flip-flops today.
No, what I found was like, because for casual, working at the bar, who cares? I wear tennis shoes, but I find that there's just absolutely no support in them, and I was finding myself, I was walking funky because the shoes just, they don't hold your ankles up bright like you're supposed to.
Sure.
That
there's
sounded
nothing-
sexual, but I didn't mean that way.
No, yeah.
So anyway, so
Like
so
a man who can hold my ankles
good
upright.
good dress shoes, and then for me it's always like when I host something, when I go do something, it's always the black blazer. Well, you put the blazer on, that means we're doing something official.
Chuck Willering it.
We're without the racism.
Without the
Without
racism, yeah.
the racism.
We're gonna
Racism on the
side. Yeah.
But you definitely present yourself differently when you have that on.
Yeah, that's always been. Thank you for noticing, but that really has always been my deal. But I do love, and part of it is a convenience thing. But I kind of just got tired of having to figure out the fuck I'm gonna wear every day. Like, who gives a shit?
It's exhausting.
So I just and thankful I buy them through you, the V-necks nowadays. But it's just God, every day same exact thing, and I don't have to think about it. And fortunately, it's a look that is generic enough that it can go anywhere. You can do anything with it.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm gonna wear bright yellow shirts every day. Because you can't do that.
Right.
But a simple
Well, you
black.
could, but maybe
you
not
could.
with your complexion.
I want to. Yeah, because I got the black t-shirts and I was doing it, and then everyone was like, okay, you gotta put on some color. Like, you
Right.
gotta show the world.
No, nobody ever tells me that.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
No, I told myself it.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with you.
Self-imposed.
Yeah.
No, I think that somebody else told you
Oh,
that.
no. I was just like, oh, God, I can't wear this a fucking again. I mean, even though I know it's 3 separate shirts I've had on, I'm like, I've been wearing the same goddamn thing for 3 days. Like, I like a cute color,
Right.
I love a parade, you know what I mean?
Last fall, I was mowing the yard.
Put on your Sunday clothes.
Yeah.
I was mowing the yard, and it was a laundry day. Yes, thank you very much, Sinead. The look is timeless. Unlike my actual age, which is
Time
ticking away.
time.
I mowed the yard last spring or whatever it was, and it was laundry day, and I had actually on a red oversized just a shirt that was like a junk shirt I found somewhere. Just in the closet. It's
a
like
belly
it's a
tee?
a midriff.
Yeah.
No, just a shirt that's in the closet for emergencies, in case when you're out of all the black V-necks. And my neighbor 2 doors down, she yelled at me. She's like, "Very nice." I'm like, "What?"
see?
She goes, "You've got color.
See?
Go back in your room."
Yeah,
Racist
right,
bitch.
right. Shut up, you nosy cunt.
Right?
Wow. I got hostile in a hurry.
Sorry,
Wow.
I got real
My
mad.
God.
Neighborhood watch meetings are a little touchy.
You don't know what these
real mad.
fuckers are
Why
gonna
you
yell
gotta
out.
be paying
Wow.
attention?
We went from Clayton was wearing a yellow shirt to shut the fuck up and go back inside, you cunt.
Yeah, wow. We
You
are-
nosy cunt.
Wow.
God damn it, get
That
it right.
escalated quickly.
It really did. It really
Just
did.
get that right. Tina.
We'll have our anger management.
Al, what
class.
about you?
Okay, so the first thing I want to say about I never thought of it in terms of like wearing something to make someone else feel bad. My thing is always when you give someone a little bit of leeway with a dress code, it slides right into torn jeans or Daisy Duke shorts.
Sure.
So if you don't set it at khaki slacks, dress shoes, a shirt with a collar,
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, people are stupid.
I mean,
Or they're gonna like everything hanging
Oh,
out.
right, yeah.
Oh dear God, yeah.
When I started the ICU Academy, when I first became a nurse, and it was summer, I finished in July, the 1st of July. So it was, July, it was hot, it was miserable, there was no dress code, and somebody showed up, one of the girls showed up in what I wear as underwear, literally what I wear as underwear, she was wearing as booty shorts.
Okay.
Like a size, 3 sizes smaller than I felt. I think mine are not loose enough, and I was like, what the fuck is that, camel toe queen? And the second day I just went up to the person that was taking the class, I'm like, I really don't want to sit in a room with someone wearing my underwear. And she was like, what? I'm like, those shorts.
No.
I'm like, have you seen what she's wearing? Like, is that appropriate at a hospital setting to wear that? Like, I get it, scrubs are really hot and we can get away from that. And it just came up like, okay, business casual.
But you're right. You're right. Yeah,
So it's
I see
that slippery slope, and it's one of those things. I don't know if it sounds sexist, but when you come to a function dressed like that, I'm not going to take you seriously
Right.
professionally
No.
in any
Of course.
way, shape, or form. You're wearing underwear.
I don't think that's sexist because when men show up similarly in a tank top
Right.
and
Yeah, like in a
basketball
white,
shorts and no
Yeah.
underwear, I feel exactly the same way.
Yeah, like
Good call.
put on something that makes us both feel like we're taking this job seriously.
Yeah.
I know I made this comment some
Cover
time
your
ago.
pubes and your pits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally. Yeah.
Many years ago, Paul Harvey, who was a radio personality, lived here in town, was from Chicago. ABC Radio had set up a studio in his home in the Biltmore. And he actually said in an interview once, it was very convenient for him, but he knew, because he would literally get up and go to the studio. Didn't have to wear a suit or tie, didn't have to get all together. He would get his script or whatever and he would read it, but he knew he could listen to himself, and he said, because I'm not dressing to respect my own job even, he goes, it wasn't the same. He goes, I had to go back to getting up, get myself together, dress appropriately, and then perform at the job like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think if you walk in and you're wearing like that, nobody's going to respect, like, you're here to do what? No.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and that's I mean that's the thing.
No matter
Somewhere
what you're
between
doing.
showing up in something too expensive and making someone feel bad, and showing up looking like I'm here, I'm a professional, I'm here to be of service.
Right.
You know, there's somewhere in between. And so what made me think of this was as they were talking about Big Little Lies and the costume choices that they made for season 2 for people kind of falling apart, and that like Nicole Kidman's character was always in cardigans. She looked good, but she gave up the businesswoman lawyer side of her.
Right.
That she was just there in comfort clothes, but that Reese Witherspoon was never giving that up. Her life might be falling apart, but she was going to
But
look
she was gonna have
good
jackets,
doing
Jackets
jackets and
and
jackets. And
Sure.
it made me think of like times like going to the polo game, like, no, we got to up it a little bit.
Gotta zhuzh it up a little.
Yeah, you like, and then being told like, no, this restaurant we're going to, jeans really not appropriate, maybe. And then I got to the restaurant, and I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't wear jeans. Like, thank God I put like dress shoes on, a pair of dress
Sure.
pants, because like
I'd look really out of place.
I would,
here.
and it would just show a little bit of disrespect to how wonderful this restaurant was. Like, it was that nice, and we were going out for something special, and it was like, okay, I can put a little bit of effort, and then all of a sudden you carry yourself just a little bit different, because I'm not in like the sneakers or the fucking dumpy shoes that I wear all the time. But then in drag, whenever it was like something like kind of like an acting choice, but whenever there was like doing drag, there was always some little thing that I would have in the drag of the moment or the costume that like would make me like feel like that person. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Whether it was like the purse that I picked out or like the ear,
Oh.
there was always something.
To me, it was nails.
yeah.
Once you could wear whatever the hell in drag to whatever you're doing, but the minute I would put nails on, it changed your entire presentation.
Right,
to
yeah.
me.
But mine was always like making me feel just that little bit
Or your
different. Like if
shoes.
you were supposed to be like
Your
somebody in a
heels.
prison, there was just something to add to the drag that made it feel a little bit tougher, or something like kind of felt more villainy if you had like a cigarette holder. You know what I mean? Like you all of a sudden felt a little bit
the
like.
long legs.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
just a
right,
little
right.
bit shittier, a little bit
Yeah.
like I'm just here to make you feel bad. Like it always adds a little. So there's always some little touch that you can add to make yourself have a little fun with what you're wearing. You know what I mean?
Yep, I agree. I see.
But
that.
and like Nero was talking about that, and I mean I went through 37 seconds of thinking, do I want to be a woman? And it was like, no, I'm good with how everything works.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, my self-exploration was not very long.
Yeah,
It's like 2 days of Google search, and I was like,
it
that's
wasn't
a
even
lot.
2 commercials.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
a
It's
lot,
like,
people.
yeah, no, I'm not into that. I like the way
I'm
I
good.
like
There's
where-
got to be another option because
Yeah.
that's not me.
the way all their
I'm just too
parts fit into
fucking
my
hippie.
parts is perfectly fine. Like nothing,
Coming in hot.
Yeah, nothing to rearrange there.
Coming in hot. Yeah.
But always interesting to hear that. And I just thought it was interesting to think of. Like,
Sure.
That is.
Absolutely.
So
Well, that was a
thanks
good
for
one.
playing, yeah.
Lovely question. Thanks to everybody in the chat room who spent all evening with us.
Yeah,
and
thank
even
you,
though
guys.
some of you were going off on your own little
Please
real
return to your
chats,
lives.
that
I
is
love it.
exactly what that is for. Thank you very much. We've managed to do it again. Another just right about a 3-hour show, 3-hour tour.
and thank you all of you.
Oh, and even
Yeah,
in the
it's
YouTube.
fun.
In the
YouTube.
In the YouTubes.
There's
I've
just
got
been
to
so,
get that done.
so many
Wonderful
tonight.
day, a wonderful night, whatever, however
However
day
you
is
identify.
Yeah, if your morning is beginning, your night is ending.
I love it.
Post
Breakfast
season
to you,
finale.
dinner to you.
Well, as usual, as we wrap up tonight's show, let's leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday.